We're in. Hello,
hey, everyone.
Hey.
Making sure everything's working as we go.
That was so tense.
It really was.
Let me adjust audio here real quick. Hello.
Umbra status entered.
What's up, everyone?
Everyone. Hello. Heroes and villains. Thank you for joining us for the very first time. This episode of the Umbra Initiative.
Woohoo.
Thanks for joining us here. If you don't know, we are a show about 4 friends playing a tabletop role-playing game known as Mutants Masterminds. It is a rule set put into place or published by Green Ronin Publishing. Go check out their other games. Great company over there. And this is our second campaign. You do not have to have seen the first one to enjoy the Umbra Initiative. This is a whole new adventure, and we're happy to share it with you guys. Introductions. I am Colby, your Professor GM for tonight and for the future, joined here by my lovely cast and crew. Cory.
Hi, my name is Cory, and tonight I'll be playing as Jordan Teller.
David.
Hi, my name's David, and I will be playing as Barrett Stair.
And Nicole.
I guess I actually have to give an introduction.
At least for the first one.
Yeah.
At least for the first one.
All right, everybody better enjoy this because this is the only introduction you'll ever get. I'm just kidding. But my name's Nicole, and I play as Arabella Modesto.
Thank you. So, chat, as always, let us know if we have any issues in terms of audio or if something's happening where you just can't see us, hear us, or anything like that.
David, can I have that? Okay.
So,
I just want to turn off the vibrator. Yeah.
as I said before, we're playing the Mutants and Masterminds rule set here. Of course, we take some creative liberties with how some things work. So if you're a stickler for rules, I don't care.
That's a good way to start.
Our,
We like to have fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fun
We
first.
the rule of cool. We like the rule cool.
Yeah.
To a degree.
We're going to start soon. In a moment, we just have a couple of announcements to get over first here. Of course, if you like what you see, you can check out our previous campaign initiative over at the Keep Tappin' X channel. It's Keep Tappin' X No G. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. All the social medias. You can listen to us in audio form or watch us in video format. Now, I do have a few shout outs to people who have helped us get here and friends of the channel, of course, over here. We have DMs After Dark. Friend of ours has a channel called DMs After Dark. Go follow them. Go say hello. They do awesome one-shots. They just did a Kids on Bites one-shot.
Yeah.
Great game.
And if you watch this channel, you know that Kids on Bites is fun. Just Roll With It, very popular channel over there. We've been talking a lot and just spitting ideas back and forth. Just Roll With It. Go follow them. They have a Patreon. Go support them. Our artist for our characters.
Yes.
I'm going to butcher pronunciations
The
here.
man.
So Raffaello Sales.
Yes.
Believe
it.
Does
Yeah.
an amazing job. The little headshots you see of our characters here
Yeah.
going by.
Yep.
Great
You can
job.
check him out on Fiverr over there. Amazing
Yes.
artist. Great turnaround time. Great work. If you need specific links, go check out our Twitter over there. We post our art, everything over there.
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram, Reddit,
Mhm.
Discord.
Yeah, we love to show these things off because
Yeah,
they're
we do.
beautiful. They're fucking beautiful. It's so good.
Hey, speaking of, wow.
Wow.
Legit on my list here, A Talk of Opportunity is next on my shout out list. So they're in chat right there. Go check out A Talk of Opportunity. Fantastic group over there. And thank you so much for the support there. Including the individual who did the logo art and the animation loop over there. Jose, oh God, I'm going to butcher that. I hate that. Monsalve?
Monsalve.
I'm going to say that. I'm so sorry. Go look. You know what? Don't listen to me. Go watch his channel. It's way better over there. But he made the amazing intro that you see on the bottom left hand of the screen, as well as the animation loop and a lot of our promotional stuff. So go follow everybody I just mentioned.
Yes, do it.
Is there anything else? Yes.
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 We have a special little something for all you guys for today's session over here, a giveaway.
Yes, we have a
Yeah,
giveaway going
baby.
We have a
Finally.
giveaway.
Giveaway.
So close enough. Thank you. So if you're watching live right now on Twitch, in chat, you can type !heroes, all one word, !heroes, and you will be entered for a chance to win a Mutants and Masterminds. Oh, can you show off that book?
Yeah.
Not this book specifically, but it is a copy of the Deluxe Heroes Handbook.
Here's handbook.
Yes, we'll mail it over to you. Oh, it's got everything. It legit has everything you need to start playing Mutants and Masterminds if you never have before. Teaches how to make a character, has GM tips over there, has a lot of stat blocks, all of the powers. Honestly, you only need that one book and that's how we started. That one single book on all of us to start a whole campaign.
Yep. So all you need to do is type !heroes in the chat and you get a ticket. And we'll pull from the raffle at the end of the stream. If you're subscribed, you get 2 tickets. If you're following, you get 1 ticket.
Ooh.
There you go. You got it. Speaking of, make sure you follow over our channel over here if you liked what you see, and feel free to subscribe if you have Twitch Prime. It's free.
Yes, sure.
Yeah,
You don't want that to go to waste.
Yeah. So, and we'll be sure to remind people in chat as we go through over there to enter. Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we're
think
ready.
good.
We're ready. I think we're
I'm
good.
not good. I'm not ready. I don't know about you guys. Thank you all for your patience for getting through all these announcements
Promise
over
it's
here.
usually not this long.
Yeah, absolutely. We usually get right into it over here.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you for joining the Umbra Initiative in our first episode. We hope to see you again. Let's have a good night tonight. Okay?
Let's do it.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do it.
All right. So, let me get the music. All right.
Are you ready?
Been waiting 3 months for this.
We see blue in all directions. The expanded, soft, still blue that reaches into every horizon. A clarity and hue that promises tranquility and promise, of course. Skies of comfort. A promise. A promise. The camera shifts left, allowing us to see the dark gray of a forming cloud. I'm going to lower that a little. As it crawls its way over the aforementioned tranquility. And with this cloud comes shadow. We pan down, seeing first the horizon, now blanketed by the marching army of storm clouds as they advance over the New Hampshire landscape. Below, fall has graced the foliage, and the boundless expanse of once emerald trees that cover over 80% of the state was now transforming. Contrasting ambers transmute to marigold, only to be flanked by deep violets. These colors drape the earth, be it in the deepest valleys or the protruding mountains that cut into the sky like monoliths of defiance. Gravity will not hold the soil back from stretching to the heavens. Brooks cut into the dense tree lines, leading to larger ponds that reflect the vision of the dark clouds in the sky before fallen leaves obscure our vision. We surge over the trees, moving faster and farther from the approaching clouds. Diving to the ground floor, we see a skittering shape quickly dart by fallen branches and moss-covered rocks. The camera merges with this unknown creature, and our vision is low, almost touching the ground. We delve into rotted logs, escaping the other side with express purpose in our direction. No obstacle, however tall or dangerous, will impede us. We break free from the clutches of a particular patch of Virginia creeper before bursting right into the middle of a road. The once fresh and smooth black of the tar has faded into a pale blue, and the natural erosion of time, with a healthy dose of neglect, has punched holes throughout its length. It stretches onward, but the camera looks up to a wooden sign, well worn and forgotten. Arcadian Haven, New Hampshire. Population 2,000. In quotations, rest in haven on your journey. We traveled down the road for quite some time, passing a small gas station with only one pump and no proprietor within the small shack beside it. We carry on. Arcadian Haven was a town with potential, and still clings to its golden days like an elder yearning to return to their peak. Adults find themselves desperately clawing for reasons to keep the town relevant, while the more practical youths hop on the first bus out of town when they can. Some say Arcadian Haven is rotting, while others claim it is preserved, only lightly perturbed by the vices of the world. The only main road leading to the town enters from the south, curving westward until the first residences can be seen, comfortable homes with their own stories and histories on either side of us, with the crumbling sidewalks overgrown with weeds within their cracks. We dart to a splintered telephone pole and easily climb upward before reaching the cable tethers. With deft balance, we travel along our new road as it leads us northward, and below us stands some of the many landmarks of Arcadian Haven. The Dough and Go, with its lofty statue of an old-fashioned donut and a bite taken out for good measure. The Domino Diner, glistening from the sun rays beating off its aluminum shell. A V-shaped structure with its outer walls covered in ivy and a sign outside that flickers with light and reads simply Motel. Plenty more places to explore in time, but none could ignore the mountain in which Arcadian Haven's structures wrapped around. It was always in view, no matter one would tread, looming over the town like a stalwart guardian or a benign tumor, depending on who you asked. It was the pupil, and the town, the iris. Traversing the power lines, we move away from houses and shops, climbing back down onto a stray dirt road. This creature did not care for the bustle of the town itself, as something stirred within the surrounding forests. It continues back into the thicket, with us in tow, searching. It needs to find it. It needs to stop it. It needs help. We fade to black.
I gotta say, already loving the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Already loving the vibes.
Hey, all right.
Digging it.
I'm in
digging
it. I'm in Arcadian Haven.
Well, that was the end of the campaign, so.
Oh, all right. Well,
Oh,
I'm
that's
out then. And for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, so. Who's going first, I wonder? Let's let the dice decide.
Woo!
God.
Jordan.
I knew it would be me. I knew it would be me.
Who's in the cards?
So, it's time to go through a day for Jordan. You wake up. Where are you?
My alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. every single day
Do you just let it go?
until I angrily reach across and smack it.
So, tell us what the audience sees. What does Jordan look like? Introduce us to Jordan Teller.
He throws off the plain, kind of gross, dirty-looking blanket off. Sits up. He's got kind of longer blonde hair, messy, straight in his face. He slicks it back out of his face, rubs his eyes, and a deep sigh, stands up and walks across this small barely decorated room. It's just got wood paneling, no personal anything on the walls.
Nothing at all.
There's a crucifix above the bedroom door. There's a mirror. There's a small wardrobe.
Okay.
He's got some flannels and jackets and stuff like that in it. He's got a drawer with jeans and goes over to them and slowly throws on what kind of looks like outdoors, like working clothes, kind of like
just like jeans.
Yeah,
boots, like a crappy jacket, like a big
like
puffy, it has like that cotton material like inside. It's just like I just do so keep warm.
The shoulder's got a tear in it. It's
Yeah,
got some
absolutely.
fuzz sticking out of it. It's got thorns stuck in it, and like
they're curtains.
Yeah, they're drawn closed.
They're drawn closed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's dark in here. I think there's a bead of light breaking through, like the little part in the middle, and you can see the dust particles in the air. So this is your abode.
Yep.
Okay. How are you getting ready for the day?
He leaves the bedroom, walks out into a very tiny kitchenette. There's pretty much just like the size of this table, throws on a pot of black coffee, lets that go, fills like a big thermos with nothing but hot black coffee, takes it with him and leaves out of his door and goes out to a beat up truck and throws the thermos in it.
Yeah, I think, what is it, house? Is this a house? He's not an apartment?
It's a tiny little house.
Yeah. So I think we see all around no neighbors.
Yeah.
There's just an isolated, small, almost like a mobile home. Not a mobile home, but the the
little stationary ones.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like those single, a lot of like old people.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yep.
We're here, and there's just trees all around, and you could look, see no people. That the trees around your house have that nice yellowy tint to it. It hasn't gotten to that deep purple yet. There's much more green than you would see in the area. The day is September 19th, 2026.
Could you repeat that date for me?
September 19th, 2026.
2026. Got it.
So, what is so you have like a beat up pickup truck?
Yeah, it's like a shitty old pickup truck that's like probably as old as him.
Okay. So you get in.
Takes a minute.
Yeah, it's just
The whole neighborhood hears it.
yeah. If you had a neighborhood around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live a bit northwest of the hustle and bustle of Arcadian Haven. There's no paved roads where you are right here. It's just dirt. Maybe once it was paved, it's been covered over. It's years and years and years. It's just craggly and it's a bad road. Okay. Where are you heading off to?
Are we calling it a church or a monastery, or how are we referring to this place?
If you're making your way to your work, that means you're heading a bit southward.
Okay.
A little to the west as well. A place that's also far away from the main city itself. For your place, actually, I have the exact time. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So, it's about a 20, maybe a 15-minute drive on a paved road. Takes you a little longer because you kind of want to be a little more careful with your truck.
Yep.
Maybe you're reckless about it. But you're heading towards the compound for the Entia Relinquere. This is the order of sisters, the nunnery that you are employed by. Didn't turn that off.
That's okay. That kind of blended in with the music a little bit.
Thanks for the follow.
The Keyblade
thanks for
throws
the
it off,
follow.
but I mean, everything else is pretty.
So, making your way through here, the route around you it's pleasant for the most part. until you reach a certain patch. The pathway, one of the pathways, one that you frequent between your home and this compound, is littered with trash. Lots of debris, of construction debris, but also a lot of just a dumping ground. For reference, the compound you're heading to was once a college, was supposed to be a large make or break the town college campus. It's going to be a university, but the project was abandoned partway through. So you're driving through here and you can see on the sides of the road, again, all this construction debris. There's some machinery that was just left, discarded, overgrown with nature. This happened years and years and years ago, this university. And so, as it happens, teenagers, the bored youth of Arcadian Haven decided, hey, this is our place now, at least for the time being. And as they often do, they make a fucking mess out of everywhere.
Of course.
So, lots of trash around, and it kind of just accumulated. So for a good portion of your drive, this tranquility, this pristine beauty of nature around you is just marred with trash, garbage. It's getting cloudy. Already is an overcast.
Gray morning.
As you make your way, you drive through and you see the entrance, a large sort of gated entryway. There is a paved road leading up to it. You're coming from the opposite side, or it isn't paved, kicking up dirt and debris. And it looks like this road has also been strongly neglected. But as you head through the gate, you've been through this gate dozens and dozens, hundreds of times at this point. It's just a flimsy chain lock. It's unlocked right now, and the gates are open. You drive in. As you drive through, it's maybe a 3-minute drive, excuse me, heading up into the main. You can see the buildings. It sort of rises up and then dips down over a hill, where you see the main buildings of the complex itself. It is a few buildings. You see a center teachers and faculty facility, or like where classrooms might be over there, a separate building for dorms, and then another building that is condemned, like completely closed down, and it makes this crescent circle over here. So you drive through, and there are some people already out, just faces all dressed in their religious attire, all of them female. And you see the nuns of the order kind of going around doing chores. And as we fade out of your pickup truck, we move to what would be the dormitories. And we fade in through a window on the second floor. And, Nicole, would you like to introduce your character?
Sure. So Arabella, she wakes up the same time she does every day, not by the sound of an alarm clock, but by the rustling of others also waking up and going through their routine and getting down the hall. It's a very easy morning. It's the same morning routine that she's had for years. She wakes up, she has a simple bedroom, the walls are completely bare. She has no posters, no trinkets, no nothing. There's nothing, no family photographs, no photographs of anybody else, just completely bare bones room. Oh, excuse me.
What does Arabella look like?
She she wakes up with kind of like a little bit messy, short, shoulder-length black hair. She has very bright, icy blue eyes with a paler complexion. She's not short. She's pretty average height. She's 5'5". She's pretty petite. She's smaller than the average person for her size, and but not so small that she looks like bony.
Okay. How old is she?
She's 26.
How old is Jordan?
32.
32? Okay. Yeah, so you're getting up, going through your routine, and is your room open? The door to your room open or closed?
Open.
Open? Yeah, It's open over here. And we see a figure walk by in the hallway and stop. Short, bit pudgy, and old, 70-year-old woman. Dressed fully in her uniform with her brunette hair, the veil over her head, hazel eyes. She has a sort of lacy black veil, almost like something you would wear to a funeral. But this is Sister Miriam, and this is a very casual attire for her. She stops and says, "Oh, dearie, are you ready yet? You're going to be late."
I'll be ready in a moment. I just
Okay.
need to collect my things.
Dinner's getting cold, and we have to wait for everybody before we do our morning prayer.
I'll be at breakfast in just a moment.
Okay, make it half a moment. She walks away, kind of waddle, like, and you'd hear her kind of going through the spiel
Yeah.
down every door, like, "Oh, dear, are you down?" Just kind of saying the same things over and over.
As she's going through, she gets up out of bed. She's not, I would say she's a morning person. She's not like grumpy. She's not out of it. She's very used to getting up at this time. She goes into this big, dusty old wardrobe and opens it up to about 7 outfits that she has. Just again, very bare. Not so much, they all kind of look the same. Button-ups, very modest clothing, a long coat that goes down almost like what are those called with the hoods and the
Like the nun, the nun attire, like the uniform. Like
just like a jacket with the hood, but it's long.
Like a shawl, cloak.
Like a cloak almost.
It's like a shawl, right?
Shawl?
Sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
Sake of argument.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Is it a shawl or a
robe?
cloak?
Is robe the word you're looking for?
But she goes through her things, gets out just a random outfit from her closet, gets dressed. She tidies up her room. It's always clean. It's never, nothing's ever out of place. Not that there would be much to be out of place, but she makes her bed. And before she starts to make her way out, she does kneel at her bed and say a little morning prayer to herself.
Okay. So, as you leave, you hear yelling. It's a bit incoherent. It's coming from another room all the way down the hall, but you know whose room it is. And Miriam storms out of it. You kind of peek your head out. You finish your morning prayer, your personal prayer, come out, and Miriam says, "Oh, I never," and the door slams in her face, like, "Oh, Olivia, you," and starts to walk away towards you, and behind you is the stairs. She looks over. She says, "She always seems to listen to you, so get her ready, will you?"
Yes.
And she proceeds down the stairs. What do you do?
I immediately go towards Olivia's room, knowing how she is in the morning and how rowdy and not so disciplined as I am, and I go make my way to her room to try to get her to wake up and come to breakfast.
Yeah, you knock on the door, and you hear, "Go away. Breakfast first, please."
Olivia, you have to get up.
Why?
Why would you stay in bed? What is in there that's so entertaining?
Bed? Sleep?
I kind of try to open the door a little.
Yeah, it
like
opens.
peek in.
And you see Olivia's room is a complete mess. There's books thrown about the floor, magazines that you're not supposed to be having there. The wardrobe is open, and clothes are just piled up. There's a rank smell in there, and you see Olivia wearing a pair of ripped jeans, just like right on the knees, just totally open. A long, like crop top, just kind of loose. Much to the chagrin of much of the nuns there, completely shaved head, an act of defiance. It's the teenage angst nun in training,
Right.
Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
She looks over to you, and she's just like, "Oh, sorry. I thought it was Miriam." She kind of sits up straighter when you're there a bit, and she looks around, like, "Oh man, what happened here?"
I was just wondering that myself.
Yeah,
You know, if anybody catches you with those, that they're gonna take them away.
I mean, well, it wasn't me.
I kind of give her a look like. I turn around and I like shut the door behind me.
Yeah,
Like, if you're gonna have these, at least keep them somewhere safe.
She starts like picking them up. She says, "Yeah, okay. I mean, throws him under the bed, and as she throws one under the bed, another one just slides out. It's it's just like a one of those really bad celebrity, like not what's like a bad tabloid.
Like Cosmo.
Yeah, just like a Cosmo.
Absolutely Cosmo.
She doesn't even really like reading them,
Right.
but it's just
Defiant to
it's
have.
just something, yeah, that you would never find here. So, yeah, she's like, okay, yep. Anyway, I'm starving. Did they do the prayer yet? Did we miss it?
No, we didn't miss it.
Can we miss it?
We shouldn't. And if we do, we must clean this room first. It must be for a good reason.
She looks at the room and at the door, an option of clean the room or go to prayer. She goes to a small writing desk and grabs some rosaries and she goes to the door like
Breakfast is better with people.
yeah, she just opens the door and starts going down.
I like try to like pick up some stuff on the way out and like tidy up
You're, like,
at least a little.
as you're talking, you're like folding a shirt
Yeah.
and putting it on the bed.
Yeah,
like,
the whole time I'm trying to like neaten it
getting a
up.
crease out of the sheets. Like,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, the whole time. And I follow. I like shut the door behind her, and like after peeking, making sure like nothing's out, or at least like the magazines and stuff
Yeah,
are
yeah.
not out.
Nothing to incriminate
Yeah.
her.
And I shut her door and I follow her.
Okay. Yeah, as you move out, the camera doesn't follow you. It stays in Olivia's room and then moves out the window and upward into this cloudy expanse of the sky. The clouds are getting a little darker, and we see this gray color, and we fade back away from this color as it turns solid, and we see a trench coat hanging. And introduce yourself, Barrett.
The first thing the camera is zoomed in on is a small knitted bird, a little plushie sitting on a bed.
Okay.
And you hear just extremely loud snoring as we zoom out, and you see Barrett laying in his bed asleep. A tall 6'1", short, clean-cut black hair.
Okay.
Stubble.
Mm.
And just and you see the camera zooms out to this immaculate cabin.
Okay.
The inside of a cabin that looks like it's almost not lived in.
Okay.
And the snoring stops, and he gets up, pulls the curtain open to let the sun in.
Yeah, immediately blinding white light.
He gets up, and he kind of as soon as he wakes up, this stern, almost emotionless look on his face. He gets up, makes the bed, puts a coat on, a suit, jacket over it.
Yeah. When you say this house or the cabin is like not lived in, is there no furniture, or is it more like it's like when you look at real estate photos?
It's like
It's like artificially lived in.
kind of. It looks like it's been set dressed. except for like one desk and one chair that's sitting with like a notepad at it.
I assume that one desk is just cluttered with like all your crap.
There's like papers and a bag.
On your desk there is an item of note. It's just a very thin laptop closed. And Barrett knows what it's for.
Yeah.
The audience does not as of yet.
As he wakes up, fixes his hair, gets dressed, he just starts packing stuff into a backpack, that laptop that you noted, a notepad, it's just like pens, papers. He opens the fridge, gets like half of a sandwich, just like puts it in the bag, and then it slings the backpack over his shoulder, grabs a silver briefcase that he has, and just leaves.
Just leaves? So do you live in town or out?
I live in a cabin,
Yeah.
kind of a decent way out of town in the forest.
I think it's sort of almost not embedded, but it's set aside a large hill. Just like most of New Hampshire, everything around, you can't go very far with a smooth like verticality here, that's what I'm looking for, a smooth plain. Like everywhere is mountains around here. You're embedded into the side of a large hill, this cabin here. Yeah, it looks very well. It's a very stark contrast to where we started the episode, where Jordan, it has like this small, like, I don't care kind of attitude, whereas this one is maybe I care not too much.
Yeah.
But it's so clean in regard. And then, of course, we have Olivia's room, which was a complete mess.
Yeah, and even the outside of this cabin almost looks like someone cleared a perfect square of trees and plopped the cabin in there.
It's totally sterile environment.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as I get outside, I just go to my black sedan, nondescript car, throw the bag and the case in the back, say...
You'd have the license plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Like,
He's the perfect stranger.
There is no license plate.
Yeah, there is no license.
I just get in, like, all right, another day. And I just drive down this like tiny dirt road.
Where are you heading to?
I'm heading to the church.
Okay.
What are you listening to while you drive?
Nothing.
For the first half of the drive, nothing. For the second half of the drive, I'm gonna throw on like an 80s playlist.
For some reason, I was expecting like super like 2000s pop. Like he starts the car and Britney Spears kicks on it.
We like follow Barrett. Like the camera just stays in one place as he's driving in silence for like a solid minute. Just.
I want to say for like while I'm driving, for like a split second, that stoic look just kind of like goes away, and like he lets emotion slip for maybe like a second. His face like twitches and he's like, and just keeps driving.
Yeah, and did you bring the plush, the little
Yes,
bird?
it's in my bag.
It's in your bag, yeah.
I start heading towards the church down a different road than Jordan took.
Yeah.
One that leads kind of into the mountains.
All right. Jordan, so you arrive out front. It has this sort of, the front of the faculty building has a small parking lot to the right, and then it ends with a curve.
Okay.
Almost like a roundabout over here, but you pull off to the side. You can hear your car, your truck showing, coming up before you see it by the sound of, one, its engine, and two, all of the tools in the back, like the leaf blower, all the landscaping utensils, rattling, like a trash can banging against all these stools.
It's a rake sliding around.
Yeah, exactly.
That's such a terrible noise. I imagine the truck doesn't have a liner, so it's just like metal on metal in the back, and it's just like rusty and shitty, and
Yeah, so you show up. What do you do?
First thing he does, he parks his truck and sits there and just kind of like sighs, like, you know, like if you get to work early, like before you punch in, and you're just sitting alone in your car, like, and you don't want to do
I
it.
have to go in?
He's just like sitting there drinking coffee and staring blankly forward for a while.
Yeah, you see like people like are looking at you. There's not a lot of people here, right? This isn't like a full like campus in regard.
Yeah.
You see the same dozen faces, give or take, going along, and yeah, some of them give you looks. Most of them kind of know your deal. You're kind of looking at the watch, or looking at like the faint red time on your radio, like
yeah. Slowly waiting for 6:30.
Yeah.
And then the time comes, and he kind of like zones back, and like as he like looks around kind of for a minute and finishes his drink and puts it down back into the cup holder, he like looks down or like looks upward at his visor, and there's a Polaroid of a woman and a little boy kind of like taped to it.
Yeah.
And he like stares at it for a minute and then slams it up quickly and gets out of the truck.
Nice. Yeah, you get out and you go into the main building. The front desk over here, nobody's there. You kind of know where to go to walk down, but you know you usually have to check in with whoever's in charge for the day over there. You hear voices coming from down the hall, and you realize they're going late again.
Typical.
And in the main auditorium, one of the lecture halls over here, we see Arabella. All the seating for desks and whatnot has been removed and replaced with pews, essentially leading up. Has a strange theatrical kind of feel to it, as opposed to everyone kind of being straight back like a traditional cathedral. Everything is looped upward into the central stage. And I don't know, Jordan, you wait by the open door, just like as people are lined up in there, and prayer is concluding, and you see the individual leading the prayer and the person you're looking for in particular is a very young woman, younger than most people would expect from this person's position. You see Mother Adele. She looks to be in her young 30s. She stands up straight, has a petite figure. She has long blonde hair that's being covered right now. You've seen it before, though. Some of the locks kind of spill out from the back. Sharp features. She's really like striking to look at. When most people think of like a mother superior, they kind of think of Miriam. This is that sort of lead, like aged, it's wizened, but honestly, Mother Adele looks like a college student. She has green eyes, and her nose is a little long. It's like one of the few imperfections on her face over there, but somehow that only makes her a little more striking to look at. It's just this weird, like, it makes you realize that everything else is almost like perfect about her. And a lot of that has to do with the way she carries herself. And she, hands clasped, she finishes the prayer. Everyone rings out Amen, and she says, all right, breakfast will be served promptly. Please get to your chores after. And she points over like, oh yes, I want to speak to you, and starts gathering a few other people to speak and whatnot. So what are you two doing?
I immediately go with Olivia to breakfast.
Okay.
And try to convince her to help me with chores.
Olivia says, oh yeah,
I'm like, we could walk through the garden and water the flowers. And like, Olivia, please.
And kind of just goes into the cafeteria area where there's a line of people being served. What are you doing, Jordan?
I'm kind of just like standing in the back behind all the pews and everything, just kind of waiting for everybody to file out.
Okay. Yeah.
Like leaning against a wall, arms crossed, just kind of looking forward.
Yeah, you see Mother Adele is essentially giving out orders to people about what needs to be done for the day. Sister Miriam, who's shorter than her considerably, is sort of not overstepping herself, but every time Mother Adele says something, she says, "Oh yes, we have to do that," and then make sure we do that over there. And it looks as though while Mother Adele has it under control, Sister Miriam, she wants to feel important. Mother Adele kind of supports that. And eventually the last of them go, and she looks over, hands clasped together, and she walks over towards you. And even the way she carries herself when she walks is like, at least 5 feet around her, you have to pay attention to her. You have to listen to her. There's like an authority to her. And she comes over and she says,
Imagine when she almost like glides.
Yes, oh, absolutely. Yeah, her dress that comes just above her feet over there. She says, Mr. Teller?
Morning, Del.
So, I know there's a storm happening tonight. I think we have to prepare for that.
What do you have in mind?
Well, we have someone with a broken window on the first floor of the dormitory building. I'm hoping you can fix that.
If I can find panes in the shed, we might be able to do something about it.
Very good, and I'd like for you to keep an eye out in the and she motions over to the building that isn't named, the condemned building over there. She says, we've had a few individuals exploring when they shouldn't be, and I'm afraid of the structural integrity of the first floor lobby area. I'm afraid somebody will get hurt, and while I'm not asking you to fix the building, of course, a little out of your pay grade,
A little bit.
I'm hoping that it isn't an immediate threat.
The institution should just knock that building down.
Yes, well, when we can get the tools for that, we will promptly do so. Now, is there anything you need?
Not that I can think of right now.
All right, well, you know where to find me.
All right, I'll go check out that window.
Gives a little nod. She walks by, and then Sister Miriam, who you just kind of notice now,
Yeah.
and actually, hello, Mr. Teller.
Morning, Miriam.
She walks by. She goes off. Barrett. It's about a little time later. You reach your destination, which is
Just a little overlook. Just small like kind of cliff that's outcropped from the forest. Just looks over the church.
Yeah, you have to park like a considerable distance away.
Yeah.
And sort of we see you like get out of this car after having driven a little off-road for a bit and leaving the audience to wonder what's happening here. You get out, get all your stuff, and start trudging through the undergrowth.
Yeah, I have my big silver briefcase, backpack, just kind of trudging along.
Yeah, it's a very nice view as we break through the trees and we see the compound far below. But all around, you can see the vast expanse of New Hampshire. Of course, to your left is the ever-imposing, even larger mountain in the center of Arcadian Haven. But even towards your right, straight on, there's still mountains over there. And it's very pretty. And you can see the darker clouds coming in.
Yeah. I take a second to just take in the view before I get almost right to the edge of the cliff, and I set my stuff down. Open the backpack, take out the plushie. I kind of I get down, put my hand on the ground, and like put the plushie out, looking down at the church. And there's 2 large divots just in the ground, and I kind of just like put my hand on them. Get my briefcase, open it up to all these disjointed parts, start slapping them together, screwing things in, clicking things together, and finally setting up a large sniper rifle.
Someone's
putting the divots right where they.
Yeah, we camera pan right to the front barrel, and it's like a slight flat, like square, like top, and just move down the long, polished steel, and we just see you finished up setting up the scope.
Yeah,
it's another day at the office.
I put my hand into the backpack, take out the half sandwich, just like I'm looking through the scope, just kind of eating the sandwich, focusing it right on the church, right on the doors as people file out.
Yeah, and you see the handyman around there. You see the landscaper.
Yep. Yeah, the scope has it over him. I note that he's there. And just...
Yeah. And you see the blonde hair as Jordan walks out, as there's a scope right on you, unbeknownst to you.
Until.
Yeah.
God.
End of campaign.
Alright, guys.
It's actually a battle royale.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I do a once over. I look at the windows.
Yeah.
I look to the sides of the church and note if there's anyone there, and just focus right on the door.
Arabella, your first chore for the day is setting up the resetting the flower beds towards the front gate. There's high winds have kicked them up, so you kind of have to do some gardening a little bit.
Okay. I try to convince Olivia to at least come outside with me.
She said,
I promise you don't have to do anything. I just want some company.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
You promise?
I'll be right there.
Fine.
Thank you.
Walk and I'm just I'll remember this.
I know you will. You always do.
I do have an eidetic memory.
Yeah, and as you exit the building, you see her.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any particular response?
When I see her still acting like just another day, I slowly just start following her with the scope.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the sniper barely moving at all.
Yeah.
Just inch by inch,
Mm-hmm.
just watching where she goes.
Yeah, it's this strange feeling that we have where everything felt pretty normal and peaceful now, but now it's
Awkward.
Yeah, awkward. It's unsettling now. As Arabella kind of is going about her day completely normal.
Very she's usually pretty chipper as well, very charismatic. Always saying hello to whoever walks by, including Jordan if she sees him.
Yeah, and you two, the both of you do see each other as you're passing through. What is your relationship with each other?
Kind of casual, familiar
Yeah.
face to each other,
Yeah.
so we just kind of say hi.
Yeah, every time I see you, I'm just good morning, Mr. Teller.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Same as always.
Well, it's another day and you're still here, so something to be happy about.
If you insist, then I guess so.
Of course.
Where's your other half?
Well, I tried to get her to help me with the garden, but unfortunately, she was not as helpful as I would have liked her to be.
What a surprise.
Yeah. But, there's always later. Maybe I could convince her to come shopping with me.
Well, as long as you keep her out of that building, then I think we'll be all set. You don't know anything about anybody going into the abandoned area, do you?
Not that I've seen. I can't imagine anybody would want to go in there, but...
Mother Dell told me to keep an eye out, so keep an eye out. Let me know if you see anybody near there.
Of course, thanks for letting me know.
Thank you.
And you guys separate from each other over here. Barrett, you see this interaction happen, everything over here, and someone else leaves the main building. We see a red-headed individual, another young woman, maybe similar in age to Mother Adele. She's familiar to you. Notably, you see the scar on the bottom of her lip. Just this sort of, don't know how she got it. Looks kind of like a slash of some kind, but it's healed up now, but it's scarred through. Deep red hair coming out. She has a rosary around her neck, but it's made of metal. And you recognize her as Sister Hart, or she is preferred to be called Angelica. And as she walks out, you kind of focus for a second, and she looks to the right, and then she looks up right towards your direction, right at you.
Yeah, when I see her look up here, I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
and I refocus back on Arabella.
Yeah.
And as I do, I take a bite of my sandwich and accidentally get some of the plastic that's wrapped. I was like, and I lose Arabella for a second. I'm like, God damn it. Refocus.
Yeah, so the three of you go about your days of watching, working. The morning goes by without a hitch. And you all start to notice that it's not as bright as it should be today. Clouds are getting a bit darker and darker. Now, the workday is starting to come to an end. It's about the early afternoon now, maybe about 3 o'clock-ish. You guys have been there for a while. Jordan, you've worked up a sweat. Change up that window. Went through the first, just the lobby of that condemned building, and it does look like people have been there. You know, there's little bits of trash littered about. And it seems relatively safe, though. You know, you're kind of nervous to go up to the second or third floor.
Yeah. I imagine you can like kind of see holes in the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
Broken tiles.
It wasn't completed. It looked to have been maybe another classroom facility building that would expand out onto there. Perhaps potentially a science wing. But there seems to be nothing wrong. You end your day. Arabella, you go through most of your chores. Olivia joins you, but about 3 chores in.
Yeah. It's like, how nice of you to join me, finally.
Oh yeah, I was doing other chores for Miriam.
Is that what you're doing?
Anyway, should we be doing something now? Come on.
Well, I was hoping to get into the city today, but we'll see.
You want to go into town?
We'll have to see. I don't know yet.
What? And Olivia begins immediately working much harder. As soon as the word going into town kind of came up.
It's like a food motivated dog.
Yeah.
She starts salivating. Okay. So you finish your chores for the day. Not much. Kind of an easy day. You know, weekends are usually a bit easier. What do you guys do now? Whoever wants to go first.
I work on trying to get to the city.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as like we're all done, I like look at like the clock, like just somewhere.
Yeah.
And I check to see if like how the weather's doing, if it's like starting to storm or if it's...
No, the rain hasn't started to fall yet. You kind of asked around, and people have been hearing different things on the radio. There's one television in the entire dorm building, but it's rarely used. But somebody checked the
forecast.
The forecast, and you know, there's definitely going to be a storm tonight, but it's not until later.
Okay.
Olivia's just like, rain never hurt nobody. Come on, let's jump.
Well, we have to make sure, check in, let them know where we're going.
Yeah. I'll go tell Miriam. Okay, we'll tell Lewis. We'll tell Lewis.
Fine.
Okay. And kind of grabs your hand, kind of leads you through towards the near the parking area. There is one vehicle that belongs to the compound, and it's very similar to Jordan's vehicle. It's this beat up, crappy pickup truck. It has this like emerald green color with rust that is caped through to the top and everything.
Like my first car.
Yeah.
Remember my truck? Piece of shit.
Yeah. But you see that there's currently a oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? The when you want to change a tire and the jack.
Oh yeah, jack.
Yeah.
Yes, that's propped up, and you see somebody under it on like a rolling platform, just kind of working on the truck at the bottom. You see there's like an oil pan underneath, and Olivia grabs them by the shoe, just like pulls them back, and you hear as you see Brother Lewis, the only male member of the Church of the Order of the Entia Relinquere. He darker complexion, shaved head. He has a lot of not deformities on his face, but there's so many little things different
Scars
about it.
almost.
Little scars. One of his eyes is a little lower than the other. It looks like his nose has been broken like 5 times in his life. He's a bit burly, but he's well dressed. Even now, as there's like an oil stain on his shoulder, it's like a dress shirt, and you know that somehow he has a lot more. And yeah, kind of like Neo said, really deep acne starting almost like from a young age over.
Right.
You know, he doesn't look scary. He isn't like Quasimodo status. But it's definitely different to someone like, let's say, Mother Adele. Yeah. And he's just like, hey, what's up?
Sorry about that, Olivia. We were trying to get into town. Is the car okay?
Yeah, take the bikes.
What's up with the car?
Need an oil change.
Okay, well, we just wanted to let somebody know that me and Olivia are heading out to the city, so.
All right, you told me.
All right, if anyone asks, that's where we are.
Nobody's gonna ask. Goes back on there.
I was like, well, you heard him. We have to take the bikes.
She's like, all right, let's go. Come on.
I like just follow her. I'm like trying to kind of like keep up with her.
Yeah, she heads over to what would have been the gymnasium of the section, but it's locked. You know, it's a relatively small building, and you know that there are activities that are done there, but hasn't been done in a while. But outside there is this bike rack area with like an awning, like a metal sort of almost like a bus stop kind of like stall over it to keep the lighter rain away. And it's filled with bikes, like light wired bikes.
Okay.
And she hops on one, and
I like just try to hop on the next one.
Yeah.
Like very carefully. I like have to like fold up my skirt a little bit just to like make sure it's not like on the pedals.
Yeah, she's already gone without you. Like, ring.
Like you could wait for me, you know.
Ring. Jordan, what are you doing after?
I wrap up around like 4, and I have an appointment to go to,
Yes, you do.
so I have to head into the city.
Yeah, so you look out to the right and you see Brother Lewis just come up under his car.
Yours sounds just as bad as mine.
No, that's your car, man.
Oh, I thought that was his.
He goes-
Trying to race. He was like,
he like stands up and goes to your vehicle. He like motions to the hood.
Pop the latch.
Yeah. He opens it up.
you have to like pull it multiple times.
Yeah. Nothing works
You
the
hear
first
some,
time
like-
in this fucking thing.
You hear some like
Yeah.
Control your engine.
he slaps the top and he just makes a motion. And you're good. He looks over back at his truck and he just goes back down and continues his work. And you come out, drive off. You see, as you're driving into town, it's a bit of a lengthy drive. It's maybe about a 20-minute drive, so it's gonna be
Probably like an hour.
give
a
or
bike?
take 50
it's
minutes.
gonna be a minute.
You know?
Yeah.
And you do drive past Arabella and Olivia. Olivia, as they're driving, it waves as you pass.
I don't even look. I see them in my like rear side mirror and just kind of like, damn.
Yeah. You pass without looking or waving or anything, and like as you pass and do that, she like turns back around, like he didn't even look.
She's like, he's driving. What do you want?
Oh yeah, she's gonna hit the million other cars around here. Barrett, what are you doing?
As soon as as soon as Arabella leaves, I start packing up. Just disassemble my gun, put it back into my briefcase.
The job's done.
Yeah. Another day doing nothing on a hill.
Put the plushy bird back into my backpack, and I just I get everything together, just light up a cigarette.
What kind of bird was it?
It's a hawk.
It's a hawk, that's right. I do.
Just light up a cigarette and start walking back to my car.
Okay. Are you heading into town or?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
my goal is to get there before Arabella does and set up on top of a building and just kind of chill.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you certainly get there before.
Yeah.
Kids on bikes.
Shout out.
Kids on Bikes featuring Sniper. Jordan, you will arrive in town first. You get there. And there's a reminder to chat that we're doing a giveaway.
We are. Good timing.
To let everybody...
Real quick, if you're watching live on Twitch right now, type in !heroes, one word, !heroes, and you will win a deluxe Heroes book, Mutants and Masterminds over here. You're entered for a chance to win.
Yes, if you're subscribed, you get 2 chances.
Exactly. If you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. Feel free to do all of that, and we will mail it over to you. We'll contact you after and get your information, everything. And literally, one book is all you need. If you've never played this before, one book is all you need. You only enter once.
Just need this one. Look at all this. You can view this too.
You'd be just like us.
Don't say that. Don't threaten them.
Yeah.
So, the town of Arcadian Haven was mentioned before. It isn't a bustling city. It isn't a metropolis. It is a town filled with the same faces you'll see every day doing the same thing. Not a lot of deviation within Arcadian Haven, but it's homey. It feels worn, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in bad. There's history here. There's tradition. There's people set in their ways. But there's people who aren't afraid to show you the hospitality of Arcadian Haven. And as you drive through, most of the buildings you see are residences, but there are districts. Namely, when you exit the one main road from the south leading into town, westward, there's the commercial district. And so you have a lot of your businesses, a lot of more recreational activities that take place here. Jordan, you make your way through the sight of trees becoming less and less dense now as you see civilization. There's people out getting stuff done before the eventual storm that's coming tonight. Kids playing, not giving a damn about the eventual storm coming in tonight. Some faces that you've seen, others you've seen less so. Pretty sure you've seen everybody at some point. You start making your way down through the commercial district and you find yourself in this large complex. It's known, we got the name up here, give me 1 second. Yeah. The Arcadian Shopping Plaza. It is one of the more modern areas in Arcadian Haven. When I say modern, it means this is where businesses have to kind of keep a bit more up to date.
Yeah.
To either compete with each other or stay in business.
It's like the gentrified area of the town.
Yeah. Essentially, yes. The roads are a little better paved. There's a lot of shopping strips. And right here in this center plaza that you're in now, it wraps into a half circle shape, connected like a big mall. And you see lots of signs for local department stores and other odds and ends. Excuse me. And at the very, very end, the northernmost part, is this sectioned off building one-story, gray, kind of like that grayish blue stone that you see in like older buildings over here in front. You see home therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And you parked in front. You've been here before.
Too many times.
You walk through the front door. And inside, it's very well kept. It's just one room that you see in front of you. It has that musty smell that all old buildings have. It is wood paneling along the walls. That same wood paneling that I swear just looks exactly the same. It's the same pattern everywhere you go. It's little like wood circles. Like anyway, go on a rant.
Skinny black lines. Sometimes they're closer together than others.
Yeah, it's the room feels smaller than it actually is. It has this deep red carpet that looks like it was just vacuumed. Yes, it's dark. There's two windows.
Fucking paneling.
There's two windows in the front, but there are like rectangle shades.
Yeah.
That have blocking out.
Dude, if you only knew how we all grew up.
And there's a single door leading down a small hallway with another door to your right and another door to the left. The right, is a small bathroom.
Yep.
And the left leads out to like the storage and like the electrical area and all that. And the door leading out the back. So, nobody's on the front counter and the back door is shut.
Okay.
What do you do? There's a desk to your right. There's an aquarium to the left, but there's no fish in it.
Okay.
Just water.
It's just, it's just water.
I'm gonna like look around quickly, but like not like urgently, like I'm looking for anybody. And then I'm gonna walk over to the aquarium. I'm gonna start flicking the glass over and over, just killing time.
Yeah.
Looking to see if there's actually anything in it for once. Like I check it like every week or however often I'm there.
Ooh!
First roll.
First roll.
Do it!
First roll.
First roll.
So for people who don't know,
Perception.
before you roll, Mutants Masterminds is a single D20 system. Very similar to other games. Essentially, I have a DC, which is a difficulty check number, in my head. It builds up around a lot of different factors. Essentially, it tells you how difficult a task is. Higher the number, the more difficult it is. And it's up to our friend here to either meet or beat this number with his roll and all the little skills he has to help his numbers. So he's going to make a perception roll.
I roll this d20, I add my perception to it. 9. Plus 4.
Okay.
Oh,
13.
Okay.
You do spot under the sort of fake coral decorations within. You kind of... you look around and hidden is a little hermit crab. Just a little tiny...
Nicole's worst enemy.
Yeah. I'm like
Gross.
catching it like out of the corner of my eye. I see it kind of flicker and I see like a bubble come up from it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Friend.
I knew there was something in there.
And you hear behind you, this is supposed to entertain the children, right?
What children?
The one for the fucked up parents that come in. And you turn around and you see your therapist, Dr. Natalie Home. Short woman, blonde hair, darker complexion over here, definitely of a Latina descent to her. Dyed hair over here, but you can see the roots still have like black onto over here, and she's wearing suit pants and like a nice dress vest. She looks better dressed than you're used to seeing her. She looks over to you with green eyes. She's kind of leaning against the wall. Has this air of cockiness to her at all times that you're used to.
Yeah.
She says, you can just yell out my name or something if I'm not out front.
That would spoil the surprise of me getting here.
You say it like you're a pleasant surprise, Mr. Teller.
Well, I say it like it's a surprise that I come back each week.
She nods. She says, will life never cease to amaze us? Come on.
Good or bad, I guess.
Let's hope good today, Mr. Teller. And she walks into her back office. You see a large desk set up. with the chair behind her. You see you see a nice couch, opting out of the very stereotypical like glossy like lay down chair.
Yeah, the Sigmund Freud bullshit.
Yeah, none of that.
Tell me about your build.
Over here, it's the room's a bit more colorful than you're used to seeing over here.
Got her. Dr. Katz. Does anybody in chat remember Dr. Katz, that crappy like cartoon therapist show where they like sit on a couch and like he like asks them questions and the line art is all wiggly and oh my god, it was on like Adult Swim or something in the 90s. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I'm sure
Anyway,
if I saw it, I remember.
It was creepy, like unsettling, weird.
There's like a plastic like tote container in the corner over there full of it's cloudy, as if it's been there for a while and stuff has been moved in and out of it a lot. You look over to there's a bookcase full of like encyclopedias and other scattered books over here. Some books you recognize, like fictional books over there. They look a bit out of place. Like the spines don't quite match up. It looks a little disorderly in the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
She has a computer or a laptop on her desk. She walks over behind. She sits down and motions you to sit in one of the comfortable kind of like wheelie chairs in front.
I walk over and have a seat.
She just looks at you and she leans back in her chair. Like, Anderson asked me to tell you that he wants the money you owe him. Something about breaking one of his beers over his head the other night.
That is not what I'm here for.
I wonder about that. I thought we were cutting back on the bar time.
Well, I mean, when you keep opening scabs, you gotta put alcohol in them to clean them.
You know, if you keep doing that, it stops or it doesn't help the healing process, right?
It makes me feel better.
She leans forward. Do you at least cut it to one less time a week?
Suppose.
Compromise, the word of the day. Good job, Mr. Teller. Good job.
I need a hobby.
I think you do. You ever try origami? Professional origami. I hear it's very calming.
Professional origami?
Yeah, you can sell on. And she opens up her laptop and she moves over on Etsy. There's just like these really intricate like origami pieces that people sell. Shipping's a bitch though.
Are you a professional origami?
No, this isn't
on the
mine.
side? Are you sure?
I have a life.
Just folding shit as I'm talking.
Yeah, I quit. Bye. Find a new therapist.
But wait.
Yeah, and she kind of like looks at the page for a moment, gets lost in it for a second, and then like kind of realizes you're here again. No, she's off to the side. It's just like, So, how was your day?
Same as always. Simple. Quiet. Easy.
I think it would kill you to have a little more extravagance in it, right? Well, hold that thought. I think it would kill the whole town.
If the whole town knows where I've been, I would never be alone again.
Well, they would know if you talked about it a little bit.
I don't want that kind of attention.
I understand. So we're not going to talk about it today, huh? I'm not going to make you feel guilty over it, Mr. Teller. It's not necessarily my job. And I am clocked in right now.
So it is your job.
Like I said, I'm not here to make you feel guilty. She stands up, walks over to the plastic tote. Can you give me a hand?
Yeah.
And it's heavy as you always remember, and she puts it on the desk. She opens it up and starts pulling out paints and lots of tools, like this wooden stand. She folds, puts up. You know exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
She says, I have another client that doesn't like to talk. Can't say names, of course. Young. Really young. I suppose I didn't like talking much when I was a kid either. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Incredible. I can't believe it.
Well, things change.
Yes, they do. Anyway, when I realized he wasn't much of a talker, you know what comes next. She puts up a canvas, a bunch of paints.
Yeah.
It's not the expensive stuff. She motions over to it. Why don't we spend the rest of our time? You talk to the canvas. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay.
What am I painting?
How do you feel about your time spent in Arcadian Haven? How do you feel about Arcadian Haven? Go along those lines.
Okay.
She sits down. You just see her on her computer.
Yep.
Kind of get the faint look of like origami. Like she's scrolling through it.
Minus that tab.
Yeah. Barrett,
Yes.
you arrive in town.
Mm-hmm.
Bit ahead. You have maybe about 15 minutes
Yeah.
before Arabella kind of comes through the same way.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
As I get into town, I'm gonna go a little more towards the town center, not like in the town center, but finding a one of the tallest buildings in town, even though there aren't many tall buildings.
Yeah, that is a bit hard pressed to find.
Okay, my phone real quick.
Maybe that mall section I talked about in the Arcadian shopping plaza might be the most vantage point you can get. But the way that Arcadian Haven is set up, it's a bit tough. You can't really see the whole town from one place within the town, for let's say. You'd have to be like on the mountain in the center,
I had to check
something
in.
like that.
Okay. I do want to stay in town, but as long as I have a vantage point at the road I took in,
Yes,
then that's fine.
absolutely. Yeah, that's easy
Right,
enough.
so bad.
Okay.
There. This big.
So as you're waiting, you get out of your car, you start reading through. You start walking along the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and something flies in front of you, and you see a black, fat raven in front of you,
Yeah.
and it looks at you.
I have my briefcase, but not the backpack. So I'm just kind of walking. I stand there and look at it. I look back at it.
Yeah, and there's this just blank moment, and it hops over to you, and it's maybe about 3 feet away now.
I have a cigarette in my mouth. I kind of take it and like flicks the ash off and, hey bird.
It opens its beak and falls.
I'm gonna.
And you hear, yeah, I got it! And you look over to the side, and you see across the street a young girl, maybe preteen age, with a slingshot
Not the bird.
that just nailed this bird.
Aw, poor bird.
Just
What the hell?
killed it.
What
It
the
is down. And
What?
it completely elated just runs up And it's just like, yeah, all right. Look, and motions over, and there's another kid beside her. They both look related.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, the girl, she wears like a baseball cap backwards over here. I'm sorry, forward, and she has a like a ponytail behind her head with her black hair. She has, and you can see going through the ponytail like a streak of really badly done blue dye.
It's almost green because
yeah, it's fading. You know, she definitely doesn't like take care of it. Yeah. She has very baggy clothes on, like super baggy pants. You can barely see, like, you can't see her ankles. The pants are over them. And she just walks up, and completely ignoring you.
Yeah.
That just looks up to the bird, kind of like squats down, and behind her, a little boy walks up. He has a flannel jacket on. He's a little pudgy, kind of like a little bit of a gut. Wears the same exact hat as her. Almost looks too small for his head though. And he looks even younger than her. He under the flannel like jacket, you see like a skeleton t-shirt. It's just like, you know, like the rib cage and everything. Nothing, it's not like a brand or anything. And his hazel eyes looks over, and he just kind of like leans over and then looks over. She picks it up, the bird, by its foot, like, and just like dangles it.
Oh my god.
She's like, whoa, gnarly.
Poor burp.
And the little boy has like his hands in his pockets, and he's just like, I don't know if that's dirty. I think you get sick. And she's like, live a little, dude, and like looks over and just like looks up to you, Barrett. And it's just like, want to shake it?
I'm just looking down at her like,
Shoot.
just motionless, just like blank face.
Intimidate her.
Yeah, she like lowers, like, haven't seen you around here before. The bird just flies out of her hand, plops down.
Burp.
You shouldn't go killing animals like that.
What are you, the animal police?
No, just a guy. Just like take my cigarette out of my mouth. Kind of squat down. I got somewhere to be, but you got in my way. I'm just gonna flick the cigarette and make it hit her right in the forehead.
Yeah, it just... What's your dodge?
My dodge?
Yeah.
She can throw the
5.
bird at you.
Yeah, she cocks back a little rock within the slingshot to shoot at your ankle.
Yeah.
With a natural 1. It snaps, ricochets off the sidewalk, and just hits her. Or rather, hits the other kid.
She's unnerved.
She's like, ouch! And she's like, Laura, that hurt! Come on! She's like, Liam, shut the and starts doing her way. Like, this isn't the end!
Let's kind of look over at him. Get up from crouching.
An enemy.
I go up to the bird, body of the bird.
Burp.
And I kind of pick it up, same way she was, but gently, like by the talon. Just kind of like move it away from like the road she threw it in, just like put it on the grass.
Okay.
Still giggling about want to shake it.
Arabella.
Kids.
You and Olivia finally arrive in town. Yeah, it's been a workout.
I wish there weren't so many hills.
This whole place is hills. She says, so what do you want to do in here?
Well, I was kind of hoping to get an art book today, and maybe hit the library up?
Library?
Yes, the library.
Okay.
Where did you want to go?
No, it's fine. Do what you want to do today. Do what you want to do.
You know you have to be quiet in a library, right?
Yeah.
Well, we could go shop first, and maybe I
Okay.
could find an art book.
She goes over and you guys make your way to the shopping, the district over there. Okay. Okay. We come back to Jordan. Some time has passed. And she closes her laptop. Says, okay. See what you got. She stands up and walks over. What does she see? What do we as the audience see?
A black canvas. There's a brown kind of yellow ball in the middle of it, and a bunch of other scattered dots surrounding it, and some lines circling it. It's a painting of Saturn.
Oh. Is it good? Like, I'm asking, is
right,
Jordan,
like, is his like proficiency?
Yeah.
It's decent. Like it's passable. It's definitely like you can tell it's Saturn.
Yeah.
It's not like the greatest. He's not like a virtuoso or anything, but
yeah. She looks at it and she's almost like mockingly being like an art critic the way they like trying to checks it from all these different angles. She's like nodding approvingly.
Yeah.
You think Sadie would have enjoyed this?
You ever listen to Stevie Wonder? He's got a song called Saturn. It was one of her favorites. There's a line in the chorus that says, on Saturn people live to 205. Sometimes I feel like that. I feel like Saturn. Arcadian Haven makes me feel like Saturn. I move slowly, and these thousands of things circle me, moving faster all the time, always moving by, always going somewhere. And I'm here. And this is where I should stay. On this slow path in circles.
I would call this a little breakthrough, Mr. Deller. And honestly, I think I love it. She looks over, noting the painting. You mind if I keep this here?
Sure.
Right. She picks it up, walks over to the front lobby and puts it up above the aquarium.
You didn't say anything about the front.
I didn't, no. You didn't say anything about not doing it either.
You're not gonna tell anyone who did it, are you?
Well, I mean, if someone's offering money, you can keep half.
I'll take half.
Glad we made this business prospect, Mr. Teller. Our time's up for today. Remember, she goes back, opens up her computer again and closes it. Says, I don't know if you got the message over here, but the pharmacy has your medication in stock.
I thought we agreed no more meds.
It's nothing extreme. There's something new I want to try.
What does it do?
It's a lighter dose of what you're used to.
No more nightmares?
It might help with them. That's why I got them for you. Just helps you sleep a little more. Well, better, I should say.
Okay.
Don't drink after taking one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll drink beforehand.
Have a good day, Mr. Teller.
You too, Natalie.
Yeah, you leave. And the pharmacy is inside the shopping plaza. So it's literally just a walk. You don't have to adjust your car or anything there.
Okay.
And as you make your way over, the small pharmacy over there, you get up to the clerk, give him your name, and she hands it to you. And we see as she hands it over to you, there's a nice like bag, or rather on the labels of the containers is about two like pill containers. We see Spearhead's pharmaceuticals label on top. She hands them over to you.
And take them, throw them like in a jacket pocket or whatever.
We pan away from you, and we see Barrett. You're sort of trailing Arabella for the time being. You see her in the shopping district.
Yeah.
We have this weird moment of like, it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts 1 style when like Sora would walk away and then Dalton and Goofy would show up. Where like Jordan would walk in one building, Arabella would walk out another.
Yeah.
And you're just watching all this happen, not really caring obviously about that, but as an audience we see that everybody's kind of just moving around each other.
Yeah. I'm just I'm acting like I'm just casually strolling through the town.
Yeah. Maybe like hanging out in your car at some point.
Yeah. I'm like, like if you see like a creepy picture, like someone's being stalked and someone's like taking pictures of themselves and someone's like, you can see them like way in the back. I'm like that. I'm always there.
Kennedy like, fucking conspiracy.
Yeah. Just hanging out in the back.
I knew you had the magic bullet. That makes so much sense.
At one point, you have a phone, I imagine, right? You hear, and it's a text, and it just says, from unknown number, call.
Not the best time.
And rings for a few moments, and you hear a deep, velvety voice of a male just say, "It's time for your report."
I'm still on the case.
It's time for your report. A status update.
Yeah, you'll get it ASAP.
Do not keep me waiting.
Yep, got it.
Click.
I just kind of watch Arabella. It's like, she just.
You see him at like there's like it's a small little, not so much a bookstore. It's like a little convenience store, a little like snack and go kind of place, whatever. And they have like, you watch as Arabella is trying to like keep away like Olivia from like a magazine rack, just like, oh, but like Brad Pitt is like, just like all this like just trash reading.
I just take note of what she's doing at this moment and just turn around and walk back to my car.
Okay. Yeah. What do you do in your car?
Reach in the back, grab the backpack, put it in the passenger seat, grab the laptop out of it, just open it up right to where it was.
And it's exactly where you need it to be. It's this strange software that it has like no user-friendly interface.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of like hard black coding, and it just starts to move with numbers like, and then a face shows up of looks like a doctor's office behind them, and you just see this black hair, very handsome, bronze skin, strong chin, almost plasticky looking person. Feel like, Barrett, thank you for calling for your appointment.
Yep. Yeah. Need the same thing as usual.
Of course, yes. He says, why don't you press the space key for me and we'll get started.
Without saying anything, just hit space.
Yeah, and there's a light on the next to the camera of your laptop, and it just flashes for a moment. And you see some numbers run along the screen in front of his face, and it stops. It says, and that pearly grin just. Area secure. Now, report the status of your target.
No change. Idle.
Have you been acclimating well to your gift?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm used to this kind of thing.
Have you been experiencing any side effects as of late to your health?
Still a little tired, but I'm not sure if this is what's causing it.
You will include that in your formal report tonight.
Okay.
Do you have any other additional updates?
The target moved out of her usual position into town.
This is normal.
You told me to report everything.
Continue to monitor until further developments.
Yep, will do.
Very good. And the face suddenly changes into that brighter tone. And make sure you make it on time to your next appointment, Barrett.
Yep, thanks, Doc.
Of course, you have a great day.
You too.
Call terminates.
Shut the laptop. Just kind of like put my head on my steering wheel for a second. Okay, I'm just gonna start the car. I'm gonna drive back to the shopping mall just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the day goes by relatively normal from there. Arabella, you go to the library. You're a regular there. Everybody, how do people react to seeing Arabella, or how does she carry herself when in town?
Like I said, she's very charismatic. She has a good memory, so she goes out of her way to remember everyone's name.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll greet them, chat with them, just very polite.
Mm-hmm.
Never like super, like never in depth with anyone.
Okay.
Just very like cordial.
Yeah.
Like acquainted with everyone. She's
Okay.
very friendly to everyone.
Yeah. Olivia is, in a weird way, when people talk to Olivia, she's really shy. But when you guys are talking, it's a completely different person. When someone else talks to her, she's like, yes, like looks down and is like very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And you go about your day. Are you picking up any books?
Yeah, I go into like the children book section, and I just start going through like ones that I haven't seen before, or ones with like particularly good art.
Yeah, I
very
imagine
colorful.
it's very like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that one, but you've read it twice, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
pretty
Like
much.
you kind of seen every book in here.
Yeah.
It like takes a lot. Like, new books don't come to Arcadian Haven,
Right. And since she's been here like almost her whole life, it's
Yeah.
very like routine thing to do. Be like, oh, I know that one, okay, but what if I do this and this? And,
Yeah.
like, just getting ideas and stuff about
Mhm.
how she would like to do her art.
Olivia's in like the horror section, of, like just like trying to find the goriest book, but like she like, opens it up and it's like she reads like a chapter and is like, like it's maybe a little too hardcore.
I'm like, don't give yourself nightmares.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just pick. She takes like 15 minutes to pick something out. And you just notice it's starting to get darker outside.
I kind of like look outside and I'm like, Olivia, we should probably start heading back, especially if we're gonna have books. I don't want to get caught in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Makes
We
sense.
forgot a backpack, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did. You forgot it.
You were coming with me.
Yeah, but you're the adult, you're a responsible one, and she just walks out. So you can carry the books back.
I need help.
You can't do anything without me. That's on the books.
Thank you.
So, Jordan, what are you doing after you pick up your prescription?
Straight to the bar.
Straight to the bar.
Straight to the bar.
All right. As you drive up, start to arrive, you can hear in the distance
Thunder.
and the Death Adder bar, the bar that you frequent in Arcadian Haven.
Bad snake bar.
It is located on top of a large hill. There's no residence around it.
Yeah.
But it almost shines like this strange beacon. It has the appearance of a biker bar up front. You can see that there are banners thrown out with like a flaming. Oh, your bunny's going crazy.
I think that was the wall. If I want to check.
Yeah, which I did. Where the it's like flaming scrolls with like the snake running through the eye socket kind of thing. There's 3 steps leading up to the front of this wooden porch that leads into. It looks like it was like a residence that was way later changed.
Yeah.
And completely gutted out and then refitted into the front of the bar. You see in front a man, short, stout, very short and stout man, thick muscles, with like, hairy arms coming through. You see him wrapping up the banners coming by. He looks more like a butcher than he does a barkeep, which is his occupation. This is Lionel Creed, the owner and proprietor of the Death Adder bar.
Cool.
He has these large black rimmed glasses that kind of throw off his entire sort of old biker man look.
Yeah.
And just wrapping up a banner. Sure. Yeah. Jordan.
Lionel.
Closed for the night.
Why?
Storm coming through. Supposed to be a bad one.
Damn. Do you need a hand?
Nah, Mrs. and I got it.
Okay. What's so bad about this storm coming?
I don't know if you noticed, but Arcadian Haven ain't exactly a place for modern storm protection. Don't lose a lot of windows.
All right.
Hey, Anderson's been asking about you.
Yeah, next time Anderson asks about me, tell him to shove it.
Hey, that's your job, not my prerogative.
Well, I'll try to keep it semi-cordial next time I run into him.
Yeah, please do that, or Anne-Marie is gonna wring out both our necks.
I owe you for that glass.
I think you owe Anderson more than you owe me.
I only gave Anderson what he deserved.
I think he would say the same about you. But he already paid me back for that drink. Gotta find a new favorite place tonight, Jordan.
I guess I should hole up at home, if this storm's gonna be as bad as you say.
What do I know? I'm just a barkeep.
I'm just a landscaper.
Simple men doing simple things.
Keep your eyes to the ground.
He nods at you, finishes rolling up the banners, and goes inside.
Yeah, I jump back in my truck, and I guess I drive back home.
You still following?
Yeah, I kind of like, I park outside the shopping center where I last saw Arabella, and I just kind of like, I sit in my car.
Yeah.
I don't really get out, and I'm just kind of like, just smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I do notice as I drive to the shopping center, I do notice the landscaper's truck.
Okay.
And I note it. I'm like,
oh yeah,
he's there.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of wait. I don't even check to see if she's still in there.
Yeah. So
wait outside.
you eventually you're like, okay, I think I lost her because she went to the library and then so you're kind of sitting there like,
yeah.
You start your bike ride home.
Yeah. No. Just wait, please.
You feel a little bit of rain.
I like tuck the books like under my shirt to like try to keep them from getting wet.
You made it home just in time as things start to a downpour starts to take over Arcadian Haven. Barrett, you're just you're still outside, or
after a decent amount of time, once it starts raining, I'm like, all right, Guess I'll head home.
Okay.
Turn around.
Head back to your cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually you all find yourself back at home. Miriam is in a fit where you just made it, and she's just like, no one told me that you two were gone.
I told Brother Lewis.
You should never tell Brother Lewis because he doesn't tell anybody anything.
Well, if you asked, maybe he would. Nobody talks to him too much.
Don't you run. Having defeated Sister Miriam and gaining 1 power point for boss fight.
When you make too much sense and they get angry.
Yeah.
She looks at the camera and reminds chat that you could win a deluxe Heroes Handbook. Mutants and Masterminds. Deluxe Heroes Handbook. If you type !Heroes in chat at the end of today's episode, we will go
Heroes
through the
with
raffle.
an E in it.
Yeah, here's the name.
Heroes with an E.
Yeah.
Heroes if you're watching in chat. No. Yeah, we'll ship to Taiwan. It'll cost me $1 million, Andrew, but
ship
for
to
you we'll
Taiwan.
do it.
We will.
We'll ship it literally anywhere.
Yeah, we'll ship it anywhere.
Look
Doesn't
at this
matter.
art. Isn't it beautiful?
We didn't draw
Don't you
it.
wanna-
We
See
didn't
it?
draw it, yeah. They can't even see it.
Oh,
You kind of got a glare.
Look at it! You can have it too!
It's literally the only thing you
Exclamation
need
Heroes!
if you want to start playing Mutants and Masterminds, which is an amazing game.
Absolutely.
Remember, if you're subscribed, you have double the chance of winning.
It's true. It's
If you
true.
have Twitch Prime, it's free.
Also, I'm just gonna say it, just to throw this out there. If you hit our little donate button below, if you scroll down, or if you type in !tips, or !tip or !donate, it brings you to our donate page. We have some merch
Yeah.
that you can buy on there. There's a little merch tab in the top right. We have t-shirts, hoodies, and snapbacks
We've been keeping
in
that
multiple
quiet.
colors. So we have that going on. If you want initiative merch,
Yeah.
Go for
It's cheap
it.
too, dude.
It's pretty cheap.
It's wicked cheap. T-shirts are like $16. Hoodies are $30.
Yeah.
I dare you to try to find a cheaper hoodie.
So if anyone wants merch, it's there.
Very nice. So, anyway. Now, back to the game.
Abruptly switching topics.
Yes.
Arabella, you're in the dorm room. Olivia is kind of gone to her room for the night. Everybody's kind of in.
Yeah.
Stayed a bit later throughout the night. Just, you hear outside. Maybe reading a book by a lamp. And the light goes out.
I kind of get up from bed and open my door to like look down the hall to see if there's any.
And no, it's dark, not pitch black or
Right.
anything, mind you. Everything kind of has that bluish gray
Right.
tint to it from windows. You look around, it seems like power is gone completely out.
Well, I guess this is the start of the storm. I go back in my room and I find a match to light a candle. And I just kind of take it in stride and go back and sit and continue reading despite the storm.
Yeah, as you're moving back, you notice it starts to get a bit chilly. You realize that the heater probably isn't working either. Over here, things are getting cold, and you hear discussion outside, and you hear you hear Mother Adele's voice, someone speaking to her. She says, Miriam is going to come down with something if you keep going this cold here. Brother Lewis, could you go to Mr. Teller's place and see if he can come over and fix it? I know the roads are bad, but I'm not sure what to do about Miriam here. And you hear, yeah, I guess I can make the trek. All right, please be careful. And a few minutes later, you hear outside, and you see the headlights.
I kind of like peek through the window.
Yeah, outside, and you see towards the front, Brother Lewis drive away. And as he drives away, you see the lightning.
She's kind of like a little startled by it, not expecting the storm to be as bad as everyone said it was gonna be. But and she puts her book back down and gets out, and gets up, opens her door, and like kind of looks to see if Mother Adele is still there.
Yeah, it looks like she has just walked to the end of the hallway, and at the end of each hallway, there's like windows that look out, like public windows that that look out on either side of the building, and she is also looking towards, watching as Brother Lewis's car moves away.
I kind of step out and like make my way over to her, and I'm like, "Excuse me, Mother Adele."
Yeah, she doesn't even look at you. She says, "Arabella, what can I help you with?"
Well, actually, I was just wondering if I could help you with anything.
Now she turns to you and gives a smile. She says, "It's very nice of you, child. Well, as you can see, age is catching up to these buildings. I sent Brother Lewis out, though I'm a little regretful towards it. It's a bit nasty out there. But, without electricity or heat, I fear for Sister Miriam's health." She kind of looks down the hallway and like back to the stairs nearby, like, getting up there in age. And, well, I would ask the Lord if we can keep her for a few more years.
Understandable. Is there a fireplace at all, like, in the... No.
No, there weren't really, in like the dormitory, no. I mean, there would really be no reason for fireplaces in, well, high or low?
Hi, baby, always.
No.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she kind of nods and she's like, well, if we have any extra blankets, we can hand them out to people who might be cold.
It's a great idea. Why don't we gather them up?
Sounds good.
She goes with you down towards the storage area on the first floor to start getting a bunch of fresh linens.
She helps her, like, grab a bunch and starts, like, counting how many they have and who they should give them out to and just all that.
Yeah, just start organizing.
Right.
And the way Mother Adele just immediately takes hold of the situation, and it's just, her organization skills are just on point. She is a natural-born charismatic leader. She's like, oh, don't forget that, no, and is remembering all minute details of everybody in the dorms, every person, their needs and everything.
Despite how organized Arabella is, she like doesn't quite keep up to Mother Adele. Like, her by herself is like, she seems organized, but then compared to her, it's like, yeah, right, of course, yeah, like trying to keep up with all the stuff she wants done. And
as you guys are like moving through, getting done, handed out maybe the last of the blankets, she like looks over to you. She says, now, with all this hustle and bustle happening, please remember that tomorrow are your special prayers. We're doing it a bit earlier.
What time?
I'm thinking 5.
Okay. I'll prepare for that then.
We'll have to make sure we have it finished before the cleanup, whenever this storm brings.
Okay, I'll prepare for that then.
She walks away from you.
When she says that, she looks kind of like a little less than happy to be reminded.
Yeah.
But she tries not to like show it too much.
Sure. So, you, as you go along there, Jordan, what are you doing at home?
It's a good question. He doesn't really spend a lot of time at home, at least not willingly. I guess he just kind of sits there and looks out the window, looking at the storm, kind of just watching it, seeing how like his driveway and everything is slowly starting to flood.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he like a clean person? Does he like take off his boots before he gets in? Does he not care?
It takes him off at the door,
Sure,
but it doesn't
okay.
leave him outside.
Yeah. Yeah, you just hear the pitter patter of the rain. Do you have a television or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like on low in the background. He's not even
Yeah,
paying
you just hear,
attention to it.
General news
Yeah.
of that has nothing to do with Arcadian Haven. Even it's just, you know.
It's like world news.
Yeah. And after a couple hours, you see a light reflect in your window. You hear walking up to your door.
I like rise from my seat and I like go like to the window kind of and like peek out to it to see if I can see who's at the door.
Yeah, like we have like this jump scare moment of like a lightning flash, and you see like a yellow poncho as we see the imposing Brother Lewis like standing at the doorway. Like
I like head over to the door quickly and open it. Like, Brother Lewis, what are you doing here?
I need you at the compound.
Why?
Electricity heat went out. See if you can fix it.
Again?
I'm not handy with that stuff.
Maybe if they updated the electricity into this century, we wouldn't have to change glass fuses every time they lose power.
Tell that to the town meeting.
All right, I'll follow you back.
He nods his head. We'll take the same truck.
Okay.
Roads are tough.
That bad.
A lot of flooding.
Okay,
All right.
let me throw on my jacket.
Yeah, he tells you to come in. Barrett, what are you doing?
Probably shooting ravens or something.
I'm heading home back to my cabin, just, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
After I get back, pretty much I put my briefcase and my backpack back on the one desk that's used in this place. Take my laptop out of the bag, set it on the desk, open it up, leave it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to the fridge, and I open the fridge, I take out what seems to be the same half a sandwich, and I just kind of sit at the desk, just put the sandwich down, just and I start just jotting down notes in the notepad.
Yeah. During your note taking after some time, there's like a window in front of you, and you just see the rain droplets just fall harder and harder, and then lightning, and you see a shape in the window, a flash, and then darkness.
As soon as I notice the shape, I just...
Damn it, where is it? Don't mind me.
But yeah.
I'm digging in a plastic bag right now. Okay, we're good.
Yep.
As soon as I
It sounds
see
like rain.
the,
It's atmospheric.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
as soon as I see the shape in the window, my head darts immediately to it.
Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah, I just freeze in place. I keep my eye where it was for a minute.
Another flash, and you
really
see it in
tense.
another window, that same shape. Small, but clearly up against the window pane.
I slowly...
Guys, I got a golden ticket. I won. I'm going to the chocolate factory. Anyway.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Barrett's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, after I see the shape again, I slowly put my pen down to so it doesn't make noise. And I silently get out of my chair, just not even a squeak. And I go to my briefcase, open it up, start putting my gun together.
Make a perception roll for me. Barrett's first roll.
Ooh.
12.
Perceive this clock.
You
Damn,
hear,
your perception's
you
high.
hear,
Yeah.
even through the rain, you hear at your door.
I finish putting the gun together and place it on the desk. And then I just slowly walk up to the door with my back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Unlock. And I open it up so I'm behind the door.
Yeah. Nothing. Rain's falling into your home.
I look out. I'm gonna step outside. In my full suit and jacket, not carrying that it's raining. Just step outside, close the door behind me, and just stand in front of my door.
Yeah. Make a perception roll.
I bet those kids were just like pain and panic.
24.
They're just satisfied.
Another flash. And you see something moving around your car. Small shape.
I just calmly walk up to my car.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk around to the driver's side.
Mm-hmm.
Open the door. Get in. Close the door. I wait.
You wait for a few moments. And you just hear something rustling in the back seat.
I just my eyes to the rearview mirror.
You look in the rearview mirror. See nothing. Pull your eyes away, and something is sitting next to you in the passenger seat.
I look over to see.
You look over and you see a small, or rather average size, white furry creature. It has these beady black with this sort of like red tint to its eyes. There's black streaks along its fur. It's a ferret.
Oh.
Just standing long ways in it, looking out the window. And then back at you.
Yeah. And I look over to it. I'm like, how'd you get in here?
It moves down and jumps onto your dashboard. Just sits in front of you, just looking at you. Just its little nose.
How did you get in here? I say again, still looking at it. I at this point I like lean back and like look into the back seat and see is there another one in here?
Yeah, you look around, you don't see any others.
Are there more?
Yeah.
No, there are two of them.
Magical girl.
Okay. I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna like put my hand out very gently. Just like
It like sniffs your finger for a moment, and then turns around and points its nose at the road.
Like pointing away from the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second, I say to the ferret.
Mm-hmm. The ferret holds.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly get out of my car and close the door to make sure it doesn't get out. And I'm just gonna like look under the car.
Yep.
Like it's dark, but I look under the car, look around the car, look at my cabin.
Yeah, you like look around.
Yeah.
You like go back to your car. You look under it,
Yeah.
and like you look back up, and the ferret's on top of the car now, and it's just like pointing at the road.
At this point, when it's on top of the car, I step back for a second. Okay. All right. I get back in my car. I close the door without needing the ferret to get inside this time.
Yep.
Oh, I guess this is what I'm doing. Start my car.
Yeah. You start driving, and like you look back at your cabin, and you see in the back seat it's the ferret. It comes back up to the dashboard inside your car now.
Yeah. Okay, lead the way, buddy. I'm just gonna drive down the road.
All right.
Slowly.
Jordan, the roads are treacherous. You're moving at a slow crawl. Windshield wipers. Lewis is both hands on the wheel, concentrating. Not much for conversation. Going up a hill, long hill. As you reach the crest of this hill, you look down it, and it seems steeper than you remember, just because of the situation itself, and you start to move over, and as soon as you start sliding down, you realize something is wrong. Something under the tires is given away. It feels like the vehicle slides for a moment, and Lewis looks a bit panicked in that moment.
Great.
As
Hydro-
underneath,
Yeah, we're hydroplaning down a hill.
more of a like a mudslide, like a rock slide.
Okay. Oh shit.
And you start to fall, and Lewis, he looks down, but then he looks like not up, but like farther in the distance, and just you see him narrow his eyes, and you just start falling, and the car tumbles over the side of the road. Make a toughness roll for
Oh
me.
god, real world dangers in this
I
superhero
know.
campaign.
Hold on.
Low power level, baby.
Yeah.
Kids with.
Real.
I
Oh
think
my
I
god.
accidentally hit the lever.
17.
17? Okay. You're okay, but as the car careens out, you full on feel your seatbelt keep you in as you full tumble.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
We cut away. Arabella.
Meanwhile,
Making a character.
I'm pretty.
A lot of time has passed. Mother Adele is in the lobby with you. Having a small talk. Finished what you're doing.
Right.
The rain's still hard, but begins to soften a little bit. Maybe the storm's passing. Perhaps you reach the eye of the storm. You don't know. She says, they should have been here by now.
I kind of look around for the clock and I'm like, yeah, but maybe they're just taking it extra slow.
Maybe. She looks visibly distraught. I knew I shouldn't have sent him out there. But Lord have mercy if Mr. Teller was roped into this.
I'm sure that they're on their way, safe and sound, and that they'll be here soon.
She doesn't seem convinced.
There's not too much we could do right now, unless you have any ideas on how we can track them down.
I guess we just have to wait for the rain to let down a bit.
It looks like it's letting up a little bit, at least.
You do hear the thunder,
Yeah, right.
but of course the rain is not as bad right now. I hope it lasts. We'll wait a little longer.
If I know it's not ideal, but how far is like Jordan's house from like where the church is? Like a
About maybe-
long.
It was like a 20-minute drive in the
Yeah,
beginning.
it's like a
was it?
20-minute
Yeah.
drive.
Okay.
And that's like going slow, it's like maybe a
Right.
little
Yeah.
longer because of the road. So like by bike, it's maybe about like 45 minutes.
Okay.
If that, traveling by bike is sometimes faster in Arcadian Haven, especially if you're not when you're going into town, but especially if you're going around town in the forest. Like if you have a good enough bike,
Right.
you're better equipped to handle the terrain,
Okay.
as opposed to most conventional vehicles. People don't want to damage them by like driving on a lot of the off-road, rather the dirt roads.
Okay. I kind of like look out for a moment at the rain, like kind of gauging like how hard is it? Is it gonna keep going? When's it gonna stop? And I go to Mother Dell and I'm like, I could always take my bike. I'm sure they're not too far away. I could check on them.
She looks over to you and then back out the rain.
They can't be far off.
It's It's been a while. I don't want you getting caught up in that, though.
I'll have a rain jacket on. Little rain has never hurt anybody.
Don't go far. Come right back if you don't see anything.
Okay.
She goes and gets you the same poncho that, just yellow, wide hood, everything there. She puts it on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there. She gives you a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Like this big, like,
Dookie,
battery
like.
guzzler. Like, yeah, just over there. Okay. Again, don't go far, child.
You'll never know I left.
She gives you a little prayer before you leave.
Mm-hmm. I like kind of nod my head at her and like walk off and start heading towards my bike.
Yeah, it's raining a bit. You're considerable amount.
Right.
Get on the bike. Start
I like
sloshing
put
through the mud.
Light like right on top,
Yeah.
almost like a headlight, and try to like see through as much as I can.
Yeah. Okay. Start going through. It's fine.
How could you?
Barrett, you start driving.
Mm-hmm.
You too roll down.
Yeah, your card splits.
Okay.
Ferrets come.
Oh, that's what I expected.
Yeah, it rains ferrets.
Okay.
Yeah, all the while the ferret is on your dashboard, just like pointing you down roads.
Yeah, every so often I just kind of glance over to her. I'm like, what am I doing?
Questioning if you're even awake.
Yeah. At one point I'm just like, ow.
This is gotta be a dream.
And you notice you're going about northwestward towards the compound.
Yeah.
It starts becoming clearly evident that that's the direction you're going until you reach a compound and it points down past the area,
Okay.
deeper into the forest.
And I slow down when we like approach the compound. I'm like thinking like, is this part of my job? What's happening right now? And I'm like, okay. I just go past the compound. I go to light up a cigarette, but then look at the ferret. I'm like, I don't.
Not the ferret.
Yeah, I just keep going.
Jordan, your vision went black for a moment there. And your auditory senses come back first. You just hear the rain. And the rain sounds acute through a broken window. You're right side up, though.
Okay.
Your vision comes back hazy at first. You realize you look to out your window, and it's just forest. You look to your left. Nobody's there. Front windshield is spiderweb just demolished. Your window shattered. The other window seems intact. Or I'm sorry. It looks as though there's a crack and a bit of blood. Where a collision.
Yeah, like he smashed his head on it. Okay. I check my hands. I'm there. I get out of the truck.
Yeah, your bones are sore, you're aching. Nothing seems broken though. Maybe a lot of bruises, some scratches.
No big deal.
Lucky. You
Very.
look past the other side of the vehicle and you just see a large hill where you fell.
Any sign of Lewis at all?
Made a perception roll.
Not good.
Have a -5 from the conditions around.
It's
Dude,
stormy.
my perception is bad anyway. Okay, 15.
15.
Yeah.
You look and you don't seem to find him. He's not around.
Weird.
You do see all around you trash. Thrown out, discarded items. None of that larger industrial trash left behind during the making of the compound.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else though.
Weird.
Just forests all around you. Leaves having been discarded, all yellow and orange in color at your feet.
So like behind the truck, it's just like cliff wall?
So it looks as though you fell down a very steep hill.
Okay.
So on the driver's side, that's
Yeah.
where that hill is. And then
Okay.
it's just open, or rather forest area.
It's like it just
throughout
like
the
went
front.
off road and tumbled down a
Exactly.
steep hill.
Exactly.
Okay. Are there tracks leading from the truck, like leading from the driver door anywhere, like through the leaves or anything?
There's no survival in this game, I don't believe.
There's investigation.
I was gonna
That's
say
what I was
investigation.
saying.
would
Yeah.
be-
Please make me an
There is a-
investigate roll.
There is an advantage called tracking,
Gotcha.
but I think we don't have it.
No,
Investigate.
I know I don't. But I've got decent investigation.
Ooh!
Nat 20, boy.
Nat 20.
First nat
With a-
20,
with a-
baby!
Okay.
Plus 6. Not that it
Yeah,
matters. 'cause-
so you
Nice.
you go to the other side, and you with your perception you move through the driver's side, and you find against the foliage, most of it washed away, but you can see droplets of blood along leaves, and you start noticing this darker color. It's getting really hard to see. It's dark, and you just start moving through, but you catch it when lightning flashes, that faint glimmer of blood leading into the forest.
I call out Lewis's name.
Nothing.
Shit. I keep following the trail of blood through the
Yeah.
forest.
You start moving deeper into the forest, and you start noticing the elevation is declining even further. The rain's heavy, your hair is all everywhere on you. You have to slick it back a few times. Your whole lower body is chafed with mud. Arabella, you find yourself biking on the path. Yeah, single light, having to take it a little bit slow. Rain in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. As you move your way through, it's getting loud. Just the rain all around you, just drowning out every other noise. Even the sound of your treads moving through the mud, just nothing. You just hear. It's picking up again.
Okay. I try to bike a little bit faster.
Yeah, as you bite faster, you suddenly feel a sensation rock through your body. This pulse. And here. Through all that rain, you hear these ambient whispers.
I shake it off and kind of look around and try to finagle the light or turn the handles to look as far as I can, as far as the light will allow me.
Yeah, you move through. It's a bit almost misty out. Barrett, driving, probably the most comfortable one here.
Just chilling with a ferret,
Yeah.
taking a
And-
drive.
The ferret takes you off the road for a moment, and you
Yeah,
start
I slow down a lot.
you start
It's kinda
climbing upward.
You better know where we're going, bud.
Your headlights
Hit some
barely helping, and camera pans to all three of you in your own separate situations, and all of you. We see a red tent, and all of you feel sick, violently ill, stopping whatever you're doing to feel something come up from your chest and your stomach, fighting this retching feeling to hold it back.
Ugh.
All around you. Your vision, black specks. and all three of you go blind.
Oof.
And the three of you come back. And you hear around you, the rain has stopped. Your vehicle just has stopped now. Your headlights off. Your flashlight, Arabella, off.
I assume at this point I'm like on the ground, like
Yeah.
not pedaling.
Yeah, I'm just like covering my mouth, like eyes closed.
The ferret's gone.
Of course he is.
Man.
That slinky ferret.
And all of you notice around you, all of the foliage. It becomes clear you can see better now, because now all these greens and yellows are now a glowing or a violet, almost pinkish hue. Everything, every plant, every stem has this glow, like a faint, weak neon sign. In the air, falling, what you think are leaves, as you're so used to that right now, you catch a glimpse. Snow? No. Black, with this white, iridescent glow around its edges. You see small triangles. And as your eyes lock onto one for more than a second, it reshapes itself like a prism. And when it touches an object, be it a plant, or your bike, or your car, even your jacket, it seems to displace the matter of that object itself, a faint shimmer, until that matter sort of remembers how it once was and reforms. All quick. Imperceptible if you weren't paying attention to it. Everything has a static-like quality. And also a bassy sound to it. Your footsteps crunching against sticks. Your car, in place itself, the engine, which is slowly dying. The ring of your bike chain just...
I'm gonna slowly just lower my window, my driver's side window, not all the way, just a little bit. And I'm gonna take an unlit cigarette and just kind of stick it out the window and try and let one of the triangles fall onto it.
Yeah, it takes a few seconds, but one of them falls on the cigarette, and you see that the cigarette almost scatters in of itself and then reforms.
Close the window. Just take a second look at it. I'm going insane.
Around you too, since you're outside, these prisms fall, and one of them, hard to avoid, touches your skin, and nothing happens. Merely passes through phases and hits the ground.
I had reached out to catch it, and
Yeah,
instead it
yeah.
goes
goes
right through your
Sam.
palm. Yeah.
As I'm like getting up and going through, like stepping through the forest, I'm gonna take. Is the flashlight still on, or is the flashlight off?
Off now.
Okay. I'm gonna continue through the forest, and I'm gonna try to call out for Brother Lewis and Mr. Teller.
Yeah, you call, and it feels as though your voice is not being carried as far as you want it to. It's silence is a presence of its own, and as soon as any noise, these vibrations get far enough away from you, it's ripped away to somewhere. And it becomes difficult to you look up, and you just see the white clouds a relatively normal sky, maybe a bit brighter than you're remembering. Everything, it's like the saturation levels of everything have been kicked up tenfold. What are you doing, Jordan?
I'm still gonna call out for Lewis as well. And instead of heading in that direction, I'm gonna kind of like turn like I'm facing the direction of the truck again.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see better. And I guess I'm gonna try to make my way towards the truck again.
Yeah, you start walking back, and you realize I should have been back by now. And you look down and you see a trail of blood. Keep walking. You end up back where you started.
Shit.
Oh shoot.
Infinite loop.
I'm after sitting in my car for a second and seeing what happened to the cigarette and everything that's happening right now. Gonna have a sudden realization that I'm not going insane, and reach in the back quickly and open my laptop.
Doesn't turn on.
It's like hitting the space bar over and over.
Nothing. Your car engine has died.
Okay.
Am I still? I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna get out of my car.
Okay.
Sorry. Am I still near my bike, or is my bike a little bit?
No, you're still near.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get back on it and like bike through, or try to bike through the woods.
Okay, yeah, it's tough biking through. It's not really an off-road bike,
Right.
kind of
Or
thing.
if not, I'll pick it up and take it with me.
Okay, so you start going.
Yeah.
Just moving into the forest, just trudging through, and you see near you there is a break in the woods, and there's a small brook, a little stream, and the path, and there's almost a pathway near it, just following along, and you see bits of trash flowing through that stream.
Is it like coming down?
Yeah, it's like it's more even. There's no sharp decline
Right.
or anything, but it's flowing in a certain direction.
Okay. I'm gonna follow that path and look for any evidence that, like, try to follow the trash almost. Any evidence that anybody else could have been here.
Okay.
Particularly Brother Lewis and Mr. Teller.
Yeah. Your path, Barrett, as you step out the car, it's an incline. Moving upwards.
Okay. Very first thing I'm gonna do is take my briefcase out of my car, open it, assemble my sniper, and tuck it underneath my car.
Tuck it underneath. Got it.
And then I'm just gonna trek up this path.
Jordan, you hear something behind you. Rustling.
I turn around to face it.
Standing on this sort of engorged mushroom is a white furred ferret.
The ferret. The boy.
And you look at it.
Yeah.
And you see on its forehead what you perceive as a sort of black spot in its fur. Upon closer examination, you notice it's a protrusion, like a diamond of sorts, like a pyramid shape, appearing from its forehead outward.
What the hell are you? I like slowly make my way towards it.
It stands up tall, long, slender in its body, and it looks towards your path, and then darts away.
Like, wait, come back! I chase after it.
Yeah, start running after it. Make an agility roll for me.
Sure. Oh, that's low.
Ooh.
Bad.
7. You're stumbling. You're tripping through the foliage. There's lots of roots, and you fall back. You start losing sight of the ferret.
Damn.
But you notice that your path is going just downward. And things are getting rockier and rockier. Almost like you're going into a valley of some sort.
Okay.
Arabella, as you make your way through. Water beside you.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna try to ring the bell and call out at the same time.
Yeah.
While I'm going.
The bell sounds different than what you remember. Just almost underwater.
Okay. Like that.
And you hear
A lot of good timing moments.
You hear
this music. I love it.
up ahead.
I thought you were leaving. Like, okay, bye.
Oh, fuck this.
Good luck, boys.
Fuck no. Yeah. It's all on you, boys.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Remember to hit
next
that-
week.
Hit that sub button.
Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Thinking that it could be one of the men I'm looking for, I immediately start booking it towards somebody who I think might be hurt.
As you start running forward, your bike in tow, you see a large rock just in between you and the path going forward. And stepping out from behind of it, you see this maybe 4 foot tall, long feline. Its paw, but as soon as its paw stands out, something's definitely wrong. You just see bones protruding up from the paws, split through this decayed skin. Through its arm, you can see ripped open as if gashed open. You see bone and muscle underneath. The shape of what looks to be some sort of breed of mountain lion, but its skin is falling off, peeling off. You can see open rib cage. It's completely starved and skinny. You look at its face. One of its eyes is rolling out of its head. It's held together just by the thick string, just kind of dangling. Its teeth are chipped and cracked, but you can still see those large canines over there looking over at you. And its tail lashes out. When it slaps against the ground, a chunk of meat flies off of it.
Oh god.
When these little prisms touch it, it ripples. And you start realizing, you look closer, and this isn't one creature. These muscles that are falling off of it, they're different colors, different patterns of fur. It is some sort of combination of decaying parts. Cats, dogs. You even catch on sort of its backside a bit, bits of turtle shell. Little scales, like fish scales along, just this strange, almost undead chimera creature. And it seeps from its mouth drool, blood, mucus.
I immediately stop in my tracks, just dumbfounded, shocked, scared of whatever this thing is. And I'm almost paralyzed with fear, just gripping the bike as tight, my knuckles are white, just speechless, not sure what to do.
We cut away, quick. It's Jordan. You move down into this valley. And there's rock walls on either side of you. And you just hear... and a shadow from above. You look up, and you see flying right towards you is this large, adult-sized. It's the shape of a fly, a normal house fly over here. But its body is made up of all different artificial parts. You see pieces of garbage composing this being's body. Cans, bottles, all paper, cardboard that's all soaked and wet. Its eyes are made up of glass shards of broken beer and liquor bottles, all on its wings also made of this glass. Every crevice of this misshapen body is dripping with blood and gunk. Just this black sludge. Its long mouth is like a tube of a vacuum cleaner that's been discarded. And it starts flying down towards you. I want everybody to roll initiative.
Oh shit!
Here we go.
Oh shit!
Well, we have a second. Thanks for the follow.
Thanks.
Alright.
Yeah, this ain't looking too hot for
God.
either any of us. We're getting it, baby.
We're getting it, baby. This combat is brought to you by our giveaway.
I'm holding up this time.
Do you want to do combat at your own, the Mutants Masterminds core rulebook setting? We're giving away a Mutants Masterminds Deluxe Heroes Handbook today.
It's the only thing you need to start your own Mutants and Masterminds campaign.
It's true. What do you need to do? All you need to do is type in chat, !heroes.
Haven't you ever wanted to have a power, a superpower, any power you can have?
You can do anything. You can do
Start right
anything
there.
with it.
I think
We've used this for hundreds of hours.
we have.
We even
It's-
recorded it, so you can check.
It's amazing. Go.
It's awesome.
Heroes
It's
with an
fun.
E.
Exclamation point, heroes,
Yeah.
HEROES.
Yeah.
Heroes with an E, keeps
Just like
happening,
that.
X no G.
I
Just
did
like
the
that.
same
Like that.
thing, it's okay.
You'll be entered to win your own. Listen, we're a small stream. That means you have a
You're-
better chance of winning.
Yeah.
Your odds
Your
are
chances
so
are
good.
like crazy.
And that's all you need to really start the game over here.
Type in !donate to donate and help us fund the stream.
Also, we have merch.
we have merch. You can buy our merch at that same !donate link.
And if you want a better chance to win, be a subscriber.
Yeah,
You could
2
be
tickets.
subscribed.
You get double the chances
You
of
get
winning.
double the chances of yours.
Guys,
And if you have Amazon Prime, the subscription is free.
this book is $39.95 asking price. You will get it for free.
You
if
will.
You win.
Free.
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 There you
If
go.
it's free, it's for me.
There's the tip
Hey.
link.
If it's free, it's
All
for
right.
me.
All right.
Now we're back.
We're back.
So
We're
anyway,
back. So,
I was gonna fight Jeff Goldblum covered in trash.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
dream.
20 up.
Lol.
Wishful thinking,
Nice try,
boy.
bud.
Yeah, baby. Okay.
All that.
15 to 20.
No.
That was,
10 to 15.
dude. It's the first fight of the campaign.
Yeah.
You know how we're gonna do.
All right. 5 to 10.
Oh, this hurts.
I got
8.
8.
I got
what?
8.
8.
Oh my God. David's not going first.
What's your dex?
My
Actually,
my dex, it goes off Jilly, doesn't it?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah,
guys,
well.
what's 8
I do, it's
divided
2.
by
Me
2?
too.
What's your dex?
2. My agility is 2.
Agility. Sorry, what's your
Agility's
agility?
2.
Roll off. Let's roll a d20. Nothing.
13.
13. I wish, dude. It's legit though.
The duality is out of
Okay,
control right now.
All right.
That means a duel 2.
6.
If you rolled a 2, I was gonna fucking slam my head against this table.
2, 6. Okay. So,
Wait, do I still go first out of the 3 of us?
I got a 4.
Woo!
shut up.
Only on initiative, baby.
I'm not used to my plus 40. I don't have my plus 41 initiative anymore.
Oh no.
What a
Good.
shame.
All right. The enemy first.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. Wonder.
This cat leaps towards you, Arabella. Jumps at you and attempts to pounce. She's gonna try and hit. Ooh,
Oh no, don't say that.
24 to hit.
Bro, what?
I rolled very high.
Yeah.
I rolled very
What do you want me
high.
to say no? Did
What?
you really need to ask?
What is your parry?
6.
So,
16.
for people who don't know, unlike D&D, it doesn't work traditionally like AC. I'm trying to hit her parry, which is her melee defense. It's going to be 10 plus her parry ranking, which
Which
is
my
6.
parry is 6, which if you're looking on the stream right now, you could see right on the screen.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
It's true.
So I have to hit a 16, which I did. So
Yeah,
now you
no
must make a toughness roll. There is no HP.
Nope. Only tough.
How does it work? We'll tell you in a moment.
Ooh, I rolled a 7, and my toughness is 7, making that a fat 14.
Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you take 1 injury. So, the way it works, you don't have HP. You have a toughness ranking. Your toughness ranking is what you roll when you take damage. Now,
When you take damage, you take an injury.
yes, there are 4 degrees in which you can take damage, which is determined by the number you roll. So, I have a damage value here. Say the DC is 20. If she rolls, every degree of failure is divisible by 5 below that number. So, 15 to 20 is 1 degree. 10 to 15 or 10 to 14 is 2 degrees.
So I only
etc.
get 1 degree.
Yes, you suffered by 1 degree. You were 1 under the amount.
So you take an injury.
So you take an injury. What does an injury do? You have a -1 on all toughness checks going forward until you're healed.
Right.
So the more injuries that you accrue, the lower your toughness is, the more damage you'll take. And if you fail a damage check by 4,
Yeah, so if you fail a damage check by 4 degrees, you fall unconscious. Little debuffs will happen over for the 2nd and 3rd degree as well, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So basically, you accrue injuries as a fight goes on. It makes it really tough to make those toughness rolls.
Certainly does.
So these
that was
claws
the first
slash into your arm, cutting your arm just right through, and you feel that sharp, hot sensation of blood running down your arm.
Ugh.
All right. Jordan, a fly, comes down, this trash fly, and attempts to pick you up and slam you against the wall.
I can try.
You ready?
11 to hit your parry. Oh, I'm sorry. 13.
Nope.
What's your parry?
6.
6. Does not hit. You're able to dodge out of the way as it flies down and careens past you, moving a considerable distance away, but then turning back to meet you. Trash falling off of it. You get a little bit of gunk on your jacket.
That's a shame.
Yup.
Barrett, as you're walking up your path, you start hearing these noises. In the distance, down.
just like down straight ahead.
When you're heading up, it sounds like it's coming from below.
Okay. I take note of the direction of these sounds. Which one sounds closer?
Made a perception roll.
Ooh.
20.
20.
Dang.
The cat.
Oh,
Cat.
big
Okay.
cat.
I'm gonna start slowly moving in that direction, but like I'm gonna try and stay stealthy.
Okay, make a stealth roll for me.
11.
11. Okay. Arabella, your turn.
Yeah, I book it.
Yeah, you start running away.
Yeah. So yeah, once I get hit with that claw, it immediately like takes me out of that paralysis, and I throw the bike on the ground, and just start running.
Booking it, yeah. Mud splattering, making your way through. Okay. So you just spend your turn just running, dashing, all
Yes.
that. Okay. Jordan.
As soon as it passes me and whips around me,
I'm gonna yell help too. Sorry.
Okay.
do I hear that?
Make a perception roll.
15?
You do. A muffled, like bassy. You just make it through.
Which direction is it coming from?
Upward.
Okay.
Like over like the ridge where you had to like walk down.
All right. When that fly passes me, I pull my stance like wide and kind of like in a crouch. I hold my hand back. I open my hand forward, and a blackness starts to form in my palm and gradually open into just a black almost disc, and surrounding it everything kind of is folding inward to it. In essence, I'm summoning a black hole and I'm pulling this thing
Nice.
Yeah,
towards
we
me.
see these black,
Very
the black
nice.
triangles, these prisms, like all move around you, just start to get sucked inside and spiral. And as they hit this dark inkiness that you're summoning, it doesn't even dissipate. It's as if this force that you're making is stronger than whatever influence these have. All right, so read me the ability.
Move object 7, limited direction to self.
Okay, so roll me move object, add d20, and he'll try to resist.
8 plus 7, 15.
It's gonna be, he fails.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So you
Come to Papa.
Yeah, this creature moves away and then stops in the air trying to fight back against it and then surges towards you, tumbling in the air.
Very nice.
All right. Anything else?
I guess we'll end as it's coming towards me.
Got it. All right. The enemy. This creature, Arabella, is far faster than you.
Oof.
It moves through. You look back, it's gone. And you hear it in rustling to your left. And then in front of you, this creature disappears right in front of you, maybe 2 feet away.
Oh.
Right there, just jumps out and gets ready to attack. And as it rears back, something jumps out from where it jumped out previously. And you see a white furred creature just hit it in the face and start wrestling with it. As you see a ferret
The boy.
just jump on this face and just get into this tussle with this, blocking your path, your escape path, just around as the ferret starts scratching at its face. Jordan, the fly in front of you, lands onto the ground, kind of staggered for a moment, and then looks up at you, and you hear something through the tube of malice as it tries to spit out something at you.
Ew.
It will have a -2 because it's doing a
Nice.
ranged attack
Okay.
in front of you. And misses. You, essentially, it doesn't so much as miss as the momentum of that dark black hole that you summoned just whisks it up and then splatters against the wall and you're safe. And you see as it hits the wall, you look and the rock is crumbling where it touched.
Okay.
All right. Barrett, your turn.
I still hear those sounds.
Yeah. And it's
All right.
getting closer and closer as you approach.
Did I hear the help?
Yes.
Okay, at this point I'm gonna run forward.
Yeah, you start running through and you break through into the path and you see in front of you Arabella and past her the ferret wrestling with an undead chimera creature.
Yeah.
Yep.
Curves the boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop for a second and take this in.
Yeah, Arabella, you hear behind you that rustling and turn around and
Yeah.
see this man.
I'm just gonna be like, what are you doing here?
I just can't, answer. I just stand there dumbfounded that there's other people, and you're not either of the people who I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm gonna motion for you to get behind me and then turn and say, run, that thing has us covered.
As soon as I hear you say run, I just kind of, shake my head and, start booking it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna follow her.
Okay, yeah, you both start running down the path. So Arabella, you spend your turn running as well.
Yes.
Jordan, your turn.
This thing is right in front of me. I rear back again and I close my fists and my eyes start to glow this fuchsia purple-ish color and it starts to emanate into my hands and it kind of consumes them in a circular glow. And as that happens, my bones inside my hands become visible and start vibrating.
Nice.
Damn.
And I rear my right arm back and uppercut this thing.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
All right,
Full
make an
strength.
attack.
Ooh, nice.
23.
23. That hits.
Hell yeah.
What's the damage?
6.
6. Feels like 2 degrees.
Nice.
So meaning it is dazed and it takes an injury
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
as you caught back and smack. Yeah, so you can. This fucking garbage fly into the air. Bits. You see its many. Its eyes over there with all the different glass shards. Some of them shatter. as the energy around your hand keeps it protected from just shredding on glass.
Nice.
As you uppercut, and the fly just
So cool.
flies back like 7 feet.
Cool.
All right, the enemy's turn. You see behind you two, the cat has batted off the ferret. It falls out of sight. Actually batters it away towards into the river itself. Splashes into there and then looks up at you two and starts chasing after you. I will say it took an action to get the ferret off, and then so it can't get to you immediately.
Okay.
But it's closing the distance.
All right.
All right. The fly, on the other hand, kind of looks over at you, Jordan, and starts to fly away from you.
Oh shit, dude.
Good.
Barrett, your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna reach my hand out, and as we're running, and just look back and see the thing chasing after us, and just keep running.
Yeah. Okay. You reach
Making
out.
sure that I'm behind Arabella.
It's pretty fast, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look back, look at her, and there's a quiet moment, and the cat is fast approaching, and it looks like it's about to leap up at you, and then through the trees, your sniper rifle comes right into your hand, and you just turn.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Take a shot.
I think doing that is an action.
Doing that as an action?
Yeah.
All right. You're ready as it
Yep.
leaps up at you. Okay. Arabella.
So I turn back to look at this random man behind me as a gun comes flying into his hand
Absolutely.
from nowhere. And I see the cat the big cat about to pounce on him, and I am going to stand there and call out to him and say, "We have to go!" And just get ready to, I'm gonna prepare in action.
Okay. Jordan, your turn.
As this thing is flying away from me, I'm going to reach my hand out, and I'm going to create a black hole beneath it and pull it down.
All right. You're
Like to
doing
hold it in
move
place.
object roll.
Nice.
Well,
You're like,
yeah.
actually, what is happening here is I'm using a different ability, but it's along the same line.
okay.
Because we made an array.
Yes.
Out of
Part of
this-
your array.
This black hole I can conjure.
Okay.
This particular one, Affliction 7,
Ooh.
resisted by dodge, overcome by strength, impaired, vulnerable, and defenseless, and immobilized. If you know.
You said 7, right?
7, yep.
By dodge.
Yes.
16 just fails.
Nice.
1 degree.
Cool.
Damn.
Hell
So,
that's-
what is the first degree there? In
The first degree is impaired.
impaired. So as a -2 in everything
That's
it
the
does. You
first
don't
degree.
exactly. It doesn't plummet to the ground. It has a little more strength than you anticipated behind it. It fights against it, but now it's about like eye level as it moves, and it's struggling to move. It looks like its body is too heavy for itself.
Nice, nice.
As I see it kind of start to stagger and slow down, I charge my hand, throw it forward, and fly in its direction.
Oh, so what's it like when you fly?
Kind of like, you know, it I hate to say it because it's so like almost just funny, like the way like Superman flies, like leading with his
absolutely.
fist. It's this energy like pulling him in the direction that it wants to go.
You can see
Nice.
behind you the prisms around you, and like the like foliage on the ground just pulse out and splatter against the walls, and you just surge forward towards it. Okay, enemy's turn. Cat's gonna try and attack you,
Okay.
Barrett.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't specify. That's my turn.
What? Lay it on me.
Absolutely. How Mjolnir
am
pulls
ready.
Thor. Yeah.
To use a force field.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Okay, so your force field, read it for me.
Range. Oh god. Wait. I don't have the full thing. Oh
no.
no, I don't know if I have
Oh,
the
here we
full
go.
thing.
I think it raises his toughness, right?
I'm gonna use the
You're gonna use the Deluxe Heroes Handbook that you could win right now if you type in !heroes in chat?
Wow.
The very same one.
Do a quick rules check.
And if you're a
Rules check.
subscriber, you get 2 chances to win this book.
my God.
The only book you need to run your own.
That's a $35.99.
$39.95.
$39.90 for free.
What the f-
Dude, for free.
For free? We'll ship it to you for free.
We'll ship
Holy
it to you for free?
dude.
Try to get it anywhere
Now
else
that
cheaper.
is white.
The funny part is if this like fails, like for some reason we did the giveaway wrong and we just like can't pick anyone.
There's real text in there. There is.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, and if you look at it closely, it forms words. Like a lot of them.
The only skill you need to play this game is you just need to read.
You kind of need to know, like,
Yeah, or-
light algebra.
Or
Yeah.
know somebody who can read to read to you.
Yes.
Neo has the effect in chat.
Huh.
So what?
He has the effect of
sustained.
force field. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You can surround your body with a protective field of energy or force, providing you with a toughness
Yes,
increase equal
cool.
to your rank.
Got it. Okay. So you do apply this. It does. What's your parry, Barrett?
My parry is 5.
It does hit you.
Okay.
So make a toughness roll and add the rank of force field.
5.
5. Jesus.
Oh wow. Heck.
Uh-huh. And what does it look like?
Flavor, yeah. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just about to say. Without really realizing what she's doing, almost without her control, just on instinct, she immediately wants to protect this other person from getting mauled the same way she not the same way, but getting hurt from this person. And all of a sudden, this like light blue aura like shines out, and it's just a pair of all like white wings, so white they look like have a bluish tint, almost like translucent, just coming forward and
Ooh.
shielding him.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Good thing you gave me that. This was 13 total.
13 total?
Yeah. Rolled a 2.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you take 2 degrees.
Okay.
But yeah, you've swiveled the gun around a little too late as it comes down onto you with these. It looks as though this claw is about to hit you right across your face. It's going to do a number.
Yeah.
But then these wings come forth, scratching against it, unsure of where this power came from and a little difficult to maintain it. It doesn't push back to the attack fully.
Right.
The wings fade away in a moment, but having done a pretty good job, having done what it needed to do, comes down to scratches it down your shoulders,
Yeah.
claws it, sinks its weight into you before you're able to push back.
Okay. Oh
And
god.
miraculously,
You are dazed. All right. So I can only take an action.
Correct.
I can only move or attack.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
The fly, in a panic now, is going to attempt to bash its body against you. And you notice that it's just a shove until you realize a lot of its body is covered in sharp glass.
bro, you are the
Nat
monster
20.
in this wood. Oh, never mind. You're done.
Make a
son.
toughness roll.
You got this.
You got this. I ain't
Yeah, you
scared.
got
I,
this. Ooh, you should.
You
be.
scared?
Yeah, he's a little.
I ain't scared.
9. Remember, you all have a hero point.
Would you like to
Obtained
use?
once per game to re-roll or do some sort of flavor thing. A hero point is a very valuable tool.
It's a once per session change something.
Yes.
We're late in the show. I'll re-roll.
Okay.
I'll use that hero point.
If you roll
Gotcha.
a
Bring it up.
10, if you roll below a 10,
Then it's a 10.
you get a plus 10.
Okay.
Because here.
Well, it was a
Nice.
6, so I got a plus 10.
Plus 10, yeah.
Okay.
Plus whatever your
Plus whatever your toughness
toughness
is.
is.
7, so I
It's
got a
so
17.
useful, dude. No,
Well, no.
plus. So
Or
6
plus my-
plus 10. 16 plus the 7.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
16
buddy.
plus my toughness.
Yeah, buddy.
Damn. Okay, that's 23.
All right, you take 1 injury.
Okay. That's all right.
That's fine.
That's okay.
That's better than dying.
That's great. That would have been. If it was a 9, that would have been a lot
That's
worse.
fine. I learned
been
something
dead.
from our last campaign. I got something up my sleeve about that. Don't you
Yeah.
worry.
So it crashes its body dead center into your chest. But at the very last moment, as you come through, you throw your arm out, creating this small suction of black hole that pulled its body away from your vitals and just scratches along your body. And you feel the blood down your chest, but you have averted a really nasty wound. Good stuff.
Damn.
Barrett.
First thing I do, I look behind me. Is Arabella still running? Is she like good distance away?
I'm like probably.
Or did you stop and you shielded?
I'm probably like 6 feet away from you.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna, while standing up, just take a stance, just aim at this thing and shoot.
All right, fire.
Fire!
Fire.
Fire! Deep freeze!
14 to hit.
A 14 to hit.
Ooh.
Misses.
All right.
You're too close. You feel too harrowed.
Yeah.
This isn't your expertise in the moment. This gun, the barrel is too long. As it swipes at you, you have to move away, and you hear this, Jordan, from above you, where the growling roars take place. You hear a loud shot.
Whoa.
And you watch as this bullet from above, the treetops above you, just shoot through an entire branch, and it falls. All right.
I'm dazed, so that's all I do.
Okay. Arabella.
A little shocked at what I have just done. I kind of shake myself out of it for the umpteenth time this session, and I try to grab you and pull you up, and also notice that the wound I had is no longer on my arm. So I'm gonna try to help him up and.
Okay. Yeah, you're trying to shuffle like, come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Jordan, your turn.
Is it still in front of me?
Yeah,
it's kind of like
it's reeling a bit, shaking free of its stupor.
we're both in the air, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to charge my fists again. That same like purple glow is going to come up like from my hands. I'm gonna like fold my fingers together, raise over my hand, and double axe handle fucking
Nice.
DBZ slam that
Nice.
fucking
Yeah.
thing
Hit
to the
it.
ground.
Nice.
Okay. 19.
19, that hits.
Nice.
Toughness or damage? Excuse me.
6.
Solid.
Yeah, you come down, crash it down. This pulse of energy ruptures forth. You feel the sheer force of this attack makes the rock walls beside you quake for a second, and it comes down. And as soon as this fly hits the ground, it shatters. Trash flying everywhere. You've defeated it.
Hell
Nice.
yeah, nice.
Damn, you're the monster in the woods.
Anything else?
I guess I release the energy and I drop to the ground.
Yeah.
Using that strength induces tiring.
You get 1 level of fatigue.
That's not the worst.
No.
So at first level fatigue, half your movement speed. Second, you have a -2 on everything. And third level of fatigue, you're down. So yeah, you feel worn from that sweat beating down. You can still feel the blood growing a bit cold on your chest. All right. Cat's turn.
Okay.
Cat is going to let out a roar.
Oof.
This screeching, and you hear in it not just the roar of this deep bassy feline, but also the howl of a wolf, the screech of a smaller cat, all these different, the screech of a bird.
Mm-hmm.
All these, and both of you need to make a fortitude save for me.
21.
Okay.
9.
9? All right, pass, fail.
Okay.
So, make a toughness roll for me.
Oh my gosh.
That hero point. No lucky to save you now.
I know. I thought about it too. It's a 13.
A 13?
Total, yeah.
Okay. Do 2 degrees of damage.
Oof.
As you feel your bones shake from this screech, and you put your hands to your ears, pull up, and see a little blood from your eardrums. All right, Barrett, your turn.
Are you covering your ears after that?
Yeah, I'm like going like this.
All right. I'm just gonna step up to the cat, and I'm gonna use. I'm gonna quickly reload my cartridge.
Yeah.
And just be like, "How about this one?" And fire up into the air. And I'm gonna use. I'm going to use Deafening Blast.
Ooh, okay. What do I have to do? Affliction?
It is resisted by fortitude.
Okay.
Dazed, stunned are the degrees.
9.
Nice.
What's the affliction?
5.
Okay.
It's definitely it's rank 5.
So it fails by 2 degrees.
All right,
Nice.
stunned.
Yeah, you go back and everything around you just goes still for a moment as this pulse rings out, and this creature is just. You would have to make it too.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask.
Closing your ears isn't enough, unfortunately.
What is it? Fortitude?
Fortitude.
Okay. 19.
You're good.
You're good, yeah.
Elias, make a fortitude save.
Elias.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh
It was bound to
It was
happen
bound
once.
to-
I know.
Bound to
I almost
happen.
introduced myself as Elias.
no! Jordan,
What am I doing?
make a fortitude save.
Fortitude.
Yeah, I have Sonic Boom again.
No,
Yeah, you-
son of a bitch.
10.
10. You fail by 1 degree. He is what?
Stunned.
First degree.
Oh, the first degree is dazed.
You're dazed. Yeah, this pulse rings out, and that tired feeling washes over you, and now your ears are ringing hard, and your equilibrium is thrown off.
Ugh. Great.
Arabella, your turn.
I'm gonna keep. Oh, I can only. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep running and trying to get him to tag along.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you're pulling him along.
Yes. and that's
Friendly
all- that's
fire
all I
on.
could do. Yeah,
Jordan, your turn.
literally.
After that happens, I take my palms to my temples and kind of drop to one knee for a minute. I'm gonna take a recovery action before I move any
Ooh,
further.
nice. So you heal 1 injury or fatigue, I believe.
You can pick.
I'm gonna get rid of that fatigue.
Okay.
Solid choice.
The enemy's turn. Stunned.
Nice.
All right. Meaning cannot take any actions on this turn. Barrett, your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna just quickly reload my cartridge to the one I just had in my hand, and I'm just gonna whip the sniper to the ground, barrel just on its head, and just fire.
Okay.
Oh,
Holy crap.
Now that
Okay.
it's stunned, I'm just directly pointing
oh
the
my
sniper on it.
god.
Well, it would no longer be stunned
It's yeah.
Right.
because it
right.
recovers at the end of its turn. There.
Right.
Per our rule, technically, as the rules are stated, it has to roll every turn to see if it resists it, or if this is a second degree. But we play a little differently
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
If you're, like I said, if you're a stickler for rules, I don't give a crap.
Yeah. if you just roll low and you're stunned every turn, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, no.
it helps my players and my enemies. All right. Roll the hit.
Okay.
Do it.
Do I get a no circumstance bonus since I'm like right on its head?
I'll give you +2.
Okay. 21.
That hits.
That'd be hilarious if you missed.
Yeah.
And you immediately put the barrel on its head and put this thing out of its
Oh my
misery.
gosh.
Just its entire head is gone. You don't even see it splatter.
Yeah.
It's clean gone, and the body's still standing before
God.
just.
Tips over.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
That's fucking that.
Jeez.
Maybe get close combat. Show you.
Fucking 360 no scope.
I know.
All right. So, you find yourselves in your current predicament.
I hear a shot ring out in the woods.
Oh yeah, another one.
And now I'm booking it in that direction.
Yeah, you'd have to fly up and just right over like this little valley that you're in.
Okay.
And as you soar upward, hit the top, and you pass by a small stream. And as soon as you hit that stream, it takes barely less than a minute before both of you, having just recovered from this encounter, see a figure just soar. No.
I hit the ground near it and I run in that direction.
Got it. Soar with his feet. Running through, stepping through the stream. Splashing through. You
This is
see.
a secret.
Hey, you're alright.
At this point, I'm like pretty far away from you. and very tentatively stepping toward you. Very hesitant to talk to you, but you did just save my life, so...
I'm also walking towards you at, like, a quick pace. Not, like, jogging, but just walking fast.
Once I see you walking fast, I, like, stop.
You're right, you're hurt?
It did get me. I thought it did anyway. I guess I'm okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, it got me too, but it's nothing too bad.
Who are you?
I live around here. I just happened to be driving and this happened.
You were driving in the storm?
Well, to be honest, that ferret thing that was attacking kind of showed up in my car, and you know, it's not important. I was driving around.
Okay. My name is Arabella.
Barrett.
Thank you for saving me.
And running through, you see a familiar face as Jordan breaks through.
I slide across the leaves. I see the two of them. Arabella,
Mr. Teller.
are you okay? I heard shots.
I'm okay. Are you? I came out to look for you.
I'm fine. Who's this?
Name's Barrett.
He saved me.
From what?
I kind of point over to
and
the
you see
headless
the
corpse of a weird cougar dog thing.
Cougar dog.
Cougar dog
Whatever
turtle.
that thing is.
Yeah.
Are you responsible for this?
I hold up my gun. I'm like, I know I'm armed, but come on.
What are you doing out here? And
What
what are you doing out here?
Looking for you and Brother Lewis.
were you doing out here?
We were on our way back to the compound. Because Brother Lewis came to get me because you lost power.
We had no heat. We just were trying to fix it.
Brother Lewis is gone.
What do you mean gone? Is he in the woods?
I don't know. We crashed the truck.
Are you okay? Where?
I'm fine. He was missing.
Well, you two seem good now, so glad you're safe. Let's start walking in the opposite direction.
You guys start seeing, as you guys are talking, as you start walking away, you see a object floating down this tiny little stream. You just see a white ferret. Just floating.
I want to run up to it.
Unmoving.
I'm gonna run up to it.
Like, hey, where are you going? And I go after Barrett.
Yeah, you
I'm just like,
splash
please
into the
don't
stream.
leave me. I just run.
You run up to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just floating, upside down.
No.
I kind of. Is it deep? Is like the stream deep?
No, not at all. It's like
All right.
halfway up your shoe.
I'm just gonna walk in and pick it up.
Yeah. It like as you reach down, it like looks over to you, like,
Ah,
it, like splashes some water, and starts running. It runs around your ankles, and runs towards you, Jordan, and then between your legs,
Yeah.
and towards you, Arabella.
that's the thing that led me here.
That thing belonged to you?
Not really. It was in my car.
I think
Sounds like it belongs to you.
that's the thing that also tried to attack that thing.
They
I like
Barrett.
crouch and like look at it and like squint my eyes.
And you notice now, Barrett, since you've seen it before you arrived here, it's different. There's this protruding pyramid-like diamond shape on its forehead that has a faint glow to it. And looking at it now, this ferret is glowing. Like everything else here that has that pink glow, its white fur has this glow.
You want me to take that thing out?
Like turns its head and starts running a few feet into one direction, the direction you guys were walking originally, and then back at you guys, and then a few feet back at you guys. Climbs on a rock, lifts back, hops
See, it
down.
wants us to follow, right? That's how we got here.
I haven't seen it until just now. How about you, Mr. Teller?
There's a man missing. If you guys want to chase an animal through the woods, that's on you. I'm gonna look for Brother Lewis.
I would like to help you with that.
How far away did you last see him?
Our truck is back that way.
Alright, Ferret, come with us. We'll go where you want us to after. I don't know if you can understand
Looks
me.
back. And at you guys. Runs to you. And it climbs up Arabella's leg and just goes onto your shoulder.
I'm like, oh, okay, hi. Is it friendly?
It's like sniffing your face.
I'm like trying to like keep it far away from me, like.
Yeah.
I'll lead the way.
Okay, follow me. I head through the woods to that, like, edge where the truck went down.
Yeah, as you move backwards, you find that you follow along the stream. You see that rock that the ferret jumped on earlier. You walk by it. And there it is again.
Damn it, not this again.
Are we lost?
Where's the truck?
This happened to me when I was looking for him earlier. Like, I'm trapped in a loop. We keep going in one straight direction, we'll come right back to it. Like we're on a small orb, and we keep making circles around its surface.
That can't be possible.
I know.
Okay, well, this has been fun.
I guess our only choice is to trust this creature? I mean, a sign's a sign, and God tells you to look for signs, right? And this is, I don't know what else to do.
I must be dreaming. Damn it, Natalie with that new medication.
That's what I thought too.
The ferret leaps off your shoulder and lands on Jordan's.
Ugh, get off of me. I like,
It's like, it's really,
Yeah.
you know, if you ever wrestled like a ferret, it's like,
yeah, it's just spazzing out on me.
yeah, it's going like crazy on it.
Like, get off.
It's like in your jacket
Yeah.
now. Like, to finally get it off, and it's on the path. It just starts running down it. Downstream.
I start following it.
Yeah, I follow.
It's the only
Very
lead we got.
close.
Same. Yeah.
I stay
Reluctantly, I
closer
follow.
to Jordan, just because.
Yeah.
The only familiar person.
Yeah.
You follow for minutes. Minutes keep passing. The temperature around here is warm. Not like the fall weather you left behind. It has a humid quality to it. There's a charge in the air. Still no rain.
Oh, like feeling before a thunderstorm.
Seeing more of these these prisms falling. The small little stream begins to grow larger and larger beside you until it resembles a small river. And you hear a noise as the thicket grows more dense in front of you. You hear and the ferret disappears into that foliage.
Well, who's first?
I immediately take a step back.
Yeah. All right, I'll bite. I take a couple steps forward, and I like Try to like spread the foliage and peek in.
You look through and allowing everybody to see. In front of you is
Barrett babies.
a rock face. A rock face at a cliffside and a waterfall streaming downward. This water shimmers with a sort of, almost as if a black ichor is running faintly through it, has this iridescent black glow along with the normal water as it flows down. And then you see from below it, water from the river moving upward and meeting with the waterfall. Both of them as they careen upward, maybe about 40 or so feet up. They spiral around each other. This waterfall is... This reverse waterfall and regular waterfall meeting for this impossible, gravity-defying, spiraling like a whirlpool in the rock face. Frothing water all throughout the middle. And a waterbed down below. And the ferret jumps up to a rock and looks over to it and then back at you.
Don't see that every day.
Does it want us to jump in that?
Do you want us to jump in that?
Doesn't do anything.
I don't know.
Alright, hold on. I'm just gonna pick up a rock. Just throw it into the
Okay, yeah, you
spiral.
Throw it at the ferret.
Well, that ends that.
Job well done, guys.
Everyone can go home.
End of campaign.
Great, you found the final boss. Nice.
The end.
Yeah, it catches in the water and just disappears.
Okay.
Then it caught up in its stream.
Okay.
The ferret leaps off of the rock into the water and stops on top of it. Water rippling at its little feet. And it just patters on top of the water. That triangle on its head. Beginning to glow as it gets closer and looks back at you.
Okay.
Are we going to follow the holy ferret?
Yes. I take a step forward and I follow the ferret.
Yeah, you step onto the water and sure enough, your feet do not sink within.
Well, ladies first.
Okay. I keep walking and follow him.
Yeah, are you follow, Jordan?
Yeah.
When they both get ahead of me, I'm gonna look down at my phone, see if it's working.
I thought you were going to look down your scope. I was like,
No.
Shooting fish in a barrel.
don't kill.
Just walk in front of
Yes.
Just line up quick.
Yeah, line up.
Alright, you guys turn around. Like, look that way. Think of home.
No, I just tap my phone, click the button, just
Nothing.
put it away. Okay. Just begrudgingly walk after them.
It feels like you're walking on ice as you move through here. You have to tread carefully as you approach closer and closer, just taking in the breadth and scale of this phenomena before you. And as you get closer, all of you make perception rolls.
I don't recognize this dice yet. It's like, I don't know if it's mine.
Remember when you said I should use a new dice, and how we said that I was just gonna keep rolling though because I'm using the same dice?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's the third 2 I've rolled.
Just saying.
It's really like that. I'm not doing
It
too
is,
hot
it is.
myself. Wow, we're all doing really good, guys.
It's okay.
11 total.
What is it, perception?
Yeah.
11.
11.
No way.
What?
Yo!
Shut up.
I got 6.
All right, I'm just saying you all see it.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
We're all looking at exactly the
This is
same wrong
destiny.
spot.
It's gonna be so sad when I kill one of you and ruin the dynamic. It's Looney Tunes bullshit.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Just
All
we
right.
played too much together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all look up. And you see in the center where all of this water is converging, glow peering through the water. And the ferret stops just below and just points its forehead at it.
What is that?
Couldn't tell you.
Like a receiver.
How far away is it from us?
So 40 feet up.
Oh, okay. So it's like far. Okay.
That animal's reacting to that.
I kind of kneel down and like to the ferret, and I'm like,
Bow.
My lord.
The second shall be.
and I kind of like hold my hands out, and I'm like, what are we supposed to do here?
It jumps into your hands and it points up.
I like stand up and like lift him up.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to stretch up. Can't quite reach.
There's no clear way to this thing, right?
Not that you can see.
I don't know how to get up there.
Don't look at me. What do you think's in it?
I don't know. I couldn't even hazard a guess.
Alright.
I like start looking around to see if there's any like.
Yeah, make an investigate roll. Are you trained in investigate?
I am.
Ah, all right, let's do it.
Not by much, but
Yeah. Just enough. One is all you need.
Yeah. Oh, okay. 19.
You're looking around, just kind of trying to maybe against the wall. It's too slick to climb effectively.
You have 0 investigation?
Woof.
Yeah.
You're a fucking spy.
Yeah.
You know, a good spy.
Yeah, man. I'm good at perceiving, not investigating.
Are you?
Yeah, I have 9 perception.
Hi, everybody.
Perceive the fault in that one.
Yeah.
Perceive your dumb logic.
You realize, you said a 19, right? 19 total?
19, yes.
You realize that there's only one path up. And that's the water that's rushing up and defying gravity. A stream that...
Is it like almost like a ramp, or is it like straight like?
Straight up, like a pillar that leads up.
Okay. Can I go over and like touch the pillar of water?
Yeah, you touch it and it carries your arm up. You have to pull yourself up. It's a strong current.
Mr. Teller, can you look at this? I like
What's up?
put my arm in and show like the stream going up. Will we drown, do you think, if we do this?
Not if you don't hold your breath, I suppose.
All right. I like put the ferret on my shoulder and take a deep breath.
Like,
and
wait.
Take a step in.
You splash and immediately you watch, both of you watch as Arabella's body just
Ragdoll.
snaps.
Oh my god.
You fool, it was my insta-kill
I
trap.
get like spouted out like.
Crumble.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. No. Yeah, you watch as Arabella just plunges in and carried right up. And you, Arabella, you feel your body get carried through. It is painful and it's tough as you move through, but you are getting twisted and turned as you spiral up and are carried in this turn. And it's getting difficult to see her with all the frothing water as it crashes, and you just see a dark shape move.
Mm-hmm. As she like gets sucked up to like the point I can't see her, I'm like, God damn it! I'm just gonna run forward and jump in.
How to chill your players 101. Okay, baby.
Make them want to die.
This current, by definition, is it a vacuum?
What's the definition of a vacuum?
Like, does it, like, is it being
Like, does it have vacuum?
pulled
Does it
up by an
suck?
outside force? Is it Hoover? Or is it a dirt devil?
No. So technically it isn't a vacuum.
Okay.
A vacuum would imply that there is an absence of matter within that spot.
Oh.
This is an external force is pushing something.
Got it.
Okay. I guess when he goes in, I'll follow. And I'll jump right in with him. And we get bumped into each other and like...
Yeah, all three of you are moving through. All of you make strength rolls for me.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh, I didn't have a
My
chance to
Oh, my
activate
strength is 0. Oh, jeez.
my strength is 3 when I'm not being purple boy. 13.
13? What was your total?
5.
5?
9.
9. All of you are struggling. Jordan, you're the only one with any sense of even direction at this point as you're moving through. I'll make one for the ferret.
Oh god. It's gonna get a 1.
19.
He's on a torpedo.
He's on a surfboard, he's got sunglasses. He's on his way to the beach filler episode.
Yeah. He's already there.
All of you, it's very difficult for you as you make your way through. However, a bright light starts to shine closer as you all surge closer and closer to it. And the strength, you reach out your arms, just trying to grab onto something, to someone, and all of you touch upon it at the same time. You feel a soft fabric, and everything stops. The prisms in the air, all of you are suspended inside of this waterfall, holding your breath. You see outside as the world with all the little triangle prisms begins to static up again, a beat red. All of you feel sick. That feeling coming back up in the pit of your stomach. A blanket of pure, complete, total darkness crashes like a wave towards you at a blinding speed. You cannot move, only perceive as it washes over you. And the three of you wake up to the sound of rain. Stuck beside a pickup truck. All three of you on the ground, holding a long blue scarf, caked with a bit of mud and grime. It's tattered, but it's clearly handmade, stitched very well, or knitted well together. But it looks like it's been neglected for a long time. And at the faint end of it, embroidered, looking too clean, no mud spot can touch it, a black triangle. You did this.
Oh.
Whoa, we got index cards? We got items?
What?
Shall I read it?
Read it aloud
Yeah, if you
for
want,
the
sure.
people.
It says neglect. A scarf that always appears worn and tattered. However, it looks handmade with love, though time hasn't been kind to it. Feature, +2 circumstance bonus to stealth rolls.
Oh, that's fucking
Huh.
cool.
I think we just received an item.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay, that's awesome.
Damn. That's fucking cool.
We looked on to the three of you, looking down at the scarf, back up to one another. We start to pan out as we hear somebody rustling in the forest. And stepping through, we see, head a bit bloody, we see Brother Lewis approaching. fade back and upward towards the cliff you fell down. Rain still. When you look down at the three of you, like 3 points of a triangle set up on the floor. And we see a foot step on the cliffside, mud splattered. A dark figure. Ah. Well, all right. I think this will be quite a time. Enjoy it while you can, my friends. This is only the beginning. Welcome to the Umbra. Steps off, and we fade to black. And that's episode 1.
Hey.
Holy crap,
Holy
dude.
shit.
Wow.
That was sick. That was so good, dude.
Yeah.
The world building, the atmosphere. Ugh, I felt it.
Yeah.
The music.
Neo said like an hour in, like the atmosphere is so thick you can cut it with a knife.
Yeah, that was
So
awesome.
True.
So great.
I can't wait to keep going with this. I can't wait to dig into these characters.
I know.
I know, same.
Thank you for joining us for the very first episode of the Umbra Initiative.
Woo!
Yes.
If you liked what you see, make sure you check us out on all of our social medias and shows. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play Music. We're on iTunes or whatever it's called now.
Sure,
Apple
yeah.
Music.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever Apple is doing, we're there.
Yeah, we're on
I think
YouTube.
it's Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, yeah, Apple Music.
That
We're on
we're on.
We're on Podbean.
We are a begrudgingly odd Podbean.
We're going to be pulling the result for their giveaway.
Yes,
Ooh.
last chance to join right now. If you want a chance to win your very own copy of the
Holy
Mutants and Masterminds
frick.
3rd edition
I know I do.
So good.
Deluxe Heroes Handbook.
I love
It's
it.
literally the only book you need to play this game
Yeah.
with your
That's
friends
it. It is.
and
Just
everything.
this one simple
It
book,
is.
and why pay for it when you could get it for free?
Yeah.
Type in !heroes
Heroes.
in the
Heroes.
chat. !heroes.
H-E-R.
I saw you try to do the tip. I don't know why it didn't work. I don't know if it will if I do it.
Look at that, you guys broke
Didn't
it.
work.
I don't
We
know,
broke it.
maybe the cooldown thing or whatever. You
Man.
can scroll down and see it.
Yeah, scroll down. There's a donate button if you scroll down.
Yeah.
Buy our merch. We have
Yes,
merch
Yeah.
now.
On a super serious note, of course, your support is so it benefits us so much just by retweeting us, by just going into the Reddit, just commenting on things is so important to us.
Tell a friend.
We
Yes.
can't grow without you. So
Yeah,
it's
we
you know
can't.
a
Yeah.
call to
And we're-
arms to everyone out there who's watched.
Your support is literally everything to us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
You don't have to get our merch, but if you tell a friend, that would be great.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Anything helps.
yeah, it doesn't. Listen, if you can support monetarily, that's great. We love you for that.
Yeah, it's
But-
exclamation point heroes with an E. Sorry.
There you go. Yep. But more importantly, it's your word of mouth, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we want to get these stories to as many people as possible.
Exactly.
We want to have fun.
So, okay.
Thank you for everything.
I think that bot is dead. What happened to the bot?
happened to
Hold
the
on.
bot?
Get these
Oh,
people what they. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that
Yeah.
in
yeah,
a moment.
We'll
We're
fix
gonna
it.
help you guys out in the stream there. Make sure you guys get taken care of.
We got you.
Yeah. Look up the Umbra Initiative. Keep tapping X over there. Look out for updates for us.
Mhm.
We love you. Shout out to everybody who's helped us get this far.
Yes.
And we'll see you next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. EST.
Can't
Bye-bye.
wait.
Bye.